expiring health care subsidies.
The motion is not agreed to.
More than 24 million Americans have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Julie Rovner of KFF Health News.
The average cost is going to more than double. It's going to go up 114%. People who are either older or higher up the income scale who are now getting help may lose that help. And for some of those people, we're seeing premiums that will double, triple, even quadruple.
It is the latest financial worry for Americans. Michael Wallace reports a new survey finds most hourly workers are struggling.
More than 80% of those polled by the workforce payment platform Branch said they worry they won't be able to pay their bills on time. 6 in 10 have skipped meals to cover their bills.
Financial instability is now intersecting with unpredictable schedules, volatile income, and just creating compounding stress for this demographic.
Branch CEO Atif Siddiqui.
Some of this is just impact of still rising prices, housing costs, inflation.
77% of hourly workers have less than $500 in emergency savings. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Washington State's governor is warning of potentially catastrophic flooding as rivers rise following days of torrential rain. CBS's Carter Evans is in Monroe, where a trailer park was all but submerged overnight.
I met one family who just moved here 4 months ago because they needed cheaper rent because the mother in the family was just diagnosed with cancer and they needed to pay for her treatment. And now they've lost everything. I talked with their 7-year-old daughter, Jocelyn. She says the only thing she owns now are the pink pajamas she's wearing.
A grand jury has declined again to re-indict New York Attorney General Letitia James in a mortgage fraud case. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
This is fairly unprecedented for the administration to keep going back to the grand jury. 2 grand juries so far have said that there is not the evidence to support those charges.
Linda Kenyon has the latest on that oil tanker the U.S. seized off the coast of Venezuela.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt explains what happens now that the tanker is in U.S. hands.
The vessel will go to a U.S. port, and the United States does intend to seize the oil. However, there is a legal process.
The tanker is believed to be carrying oil from Venezuela and Iran in violation of U.S. sanctions.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been freed from detention on a judge's order. He was detained again after returning from El Salvador, where he was mistakenly deported. On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rain is letting up. The threat from flooding is far from over. We get now to Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Northbound I-5, right about 188th, we have a stall. It's in the HOV lane, Federal Way to Seattle now. Just a minute delay at 26 minutes. Eastbound 90 at 18 reopened finally after yesterday's mudslide, but 18 at I-90 still blocked from Issaquah Hobart all the way to I-90. A collision 167 southbound near 512 still blocking, and 410 at Weyerhaeuser right now closed. Highway 9 from Marsh Road to Lower Larimar is closed, and then again at the Skagit River. Everett to Marysville, an 11-minute drive. Seattle to Everett, about a 13-minute delay. Seattle Tacoma, 37 minutes. The holiday season, give the gift of the Mariners baseball. Grab tickets to next season's biggest games like opening day, March 26th at mariners.com/tickets. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The flood threat continuing at this hour across western Washington from Skagit down to Lewis counties. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports the governor still asking FEMA for that emergency declaration.
Governor Ferguson says the situation is unpredictable and dangerous, and he urges everyone under evacuation orders to leave immediately.
The National Weather Service as describing it as potentially catastrophic and potentially having significant loss of life still remains in place.
Meanwhile, the number of highway closures doubled overnight to about 30. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Many rivers are still rising. The Nooksack in Ferndale set to crest at 10 p.m. KIRO 7 TV's Morgan Palmer is keeping watch on the rising Skagit River.
We're still looking at a peak in major record
Potentially catastrophic flood stage early tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., but it's going to be bad all the way into tomorrow.
That is in Mount Vernon. The Snohomish River set to peak in Monroe at about 10 tonight and stay at record flood stage in the city of Snohomish overnight. The Snoqualmie now beginning to recede as some people in Falls City are riding out the floodwaters. Jenny tells KIRO News Radio's G and Ursula she's trapped.
I'm by my neighbor's property across the street from the river, and it has completely inundated their house. They're surrounded by 2 feet of water completely around. They can't go anywhere.
Now along the Puyallup River, sump pumps are no match for the rushing water there. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake joins us live Riverside in Ording.
Aaron, the volume I'm seeing is truly impressive as the rushing Puyallup carries big uprooted trees downstream. Tamara McAdams' house is just across the street from the river. 3 times this week, she and her husband have suffered flooded basements.
We had 3 sump pumps and they just couldn't keep up. So we went and got a giant 4-inch pump, and it's been okay since we got that one working.
I must say Tamara is pretty cheerful considering some of her neighbors have been ordered to evacuate. Ording is also threatened by the very swollen Carbon River. Live in Ording, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Corwin. The rest of your weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. The rain today now turning to showers, but still some rain. Impressive totals falling in the mountains, maybe 1 to 2 inches more by night's end. Flood warnings continuing with some rivers still cresting overnight. Again, the Skagit set to reach its peak at around 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right now we have 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Oh, God.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey there, it's Sue Bell in Palm Beach. My goodness, but you are handsome.
Oh, you're kind.
The gods blessed you. Look at those eyes. They're just wonderful. The hair is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Would maybe let it grow a little bit and slick it back. I love that look. Sort of like a Rudolph Valentino. Do you know how to say poodle in Italian?
No.
It's carne barbone. Means bearded dog. Anyway, thank the gods for those gorgeous eyes.
Well, thank you, Sue Bell.
Wow, she actually said what she liked.
All over me.
How about that?
Did a weird feeling. I'm both attracted and repulsed simultaneously. Many of the listeners of the show feel the same way.
Oh, my.
By the way, thank you, everybody that participated yesterday in Holiday Magic. Thank you. Thank you for making us, I don't want to brag, but #1. What do you give me that look for?
Nothing.
Big numbers.
Yes, we do.
Big numbers. Thank you, everybody. That's great. Let's see. I believe. Yeah. Smells good. Came off the mimeograph machine.
The what's what?
The mimeograph machine. That's so good. That's 2 pages of news. That's me trying to find the computer. There it is. All right. Homage to you kids out there. And I'm not bragging, but we will be. Plus, we're going to try to do 1, 2, 3, 4 day in history because Joe and I couldn't make our best choice as to which one we're going to do. Frank Sinatra Jr. getting kidnapped. Ooh. Were you doing Sam Cooke? No, we skipped that one. We did skip one?
I don't think we picked, or you didn't pick Cooke. It's a good one.
The big heist there at JFK.
Yes.
And did we do another one? What was your other one? Bernie Madoff?
I picked Lufthansa Heist.
Oh, Lufthansa Heist. Well, I'll get to all that. Plus, now they make big changes at In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger still your #1 favorite burger place?
Absolutely.
Okay. When you go in there and you're waiting for them to call your name or call your number, there's going to be a bit of a head-snapping moment. Plus, we'll find out from our Emerald City weather blogger about this historic rain that is saturating everyone. Plus, Governor Ferguson talks about the historic flooding. It's nice to see he has on Union 118 supporting the unions that supported him. I guess when you buy a governor, the governor gets a free T-shirt or a free sweatshirt. And I know you believe in democracy. I know all those folks on the left that want to allow boys to compete against girls. I know you're a big defender of democracy. But for some reason, you also are a big defender of jabs and hooks to the face. We'll find out what's happening in Port Angeles or Port Orchard. Sad. Some national news. Oh, and then your dog's brain is getting bigger. I think that's good for all of us.
I agree.
I'm smarter the dog, better the dog, more fun for everybody. And then Tom Myers is going to stop by. We'll talk about the CCA. That's right, everybody that voted in order to save the planet. Todd finds out where your money's going. And it's a lot of money. A lot of money. And then the other 3 or 4 stories going to McDonald's ad. Did you see the AI ad that McDonald's put up? They took it down for some reason. I'll tell you why they took it down, because it was horrible. That's why. And now other companies that have used AI to produce AI-generated commercials are like, yeah, maybe it's not the best move all around. And we didn't put the story in here, but I'm going to do this. This guy gets really into AI as his friend, and he says, I think my mother is trying to kill me. I think my mother has put ground up mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, in my car ventilation system. And then the AI said, well, that certainly sounds suspicious. If you were driving and inhaling that, it would probably cause you to have some type of episode. I would be very concerned with your mother and watch your mother very, very carefully. The guy's like, yeah, I know. And all this conversation was happening upstairs in the attic of the house. What happened next? Well, now they're being sued.
Hoping to be shocked.
Yeah, and you will be shocked.
Okay, good.
Okay, all of that, and of course, a whole bunch more. 1-888-973-5476. On the John Curley Show, you are all welcome, and those of you on YouTube, hey, everybody out there.
Woo.
Nice to see you. Here's a little something for you, a little piece of paper. See, one of these days I'm going to hit that thing, and it's going to be like the highlight of my week.
I'm glad it's not a cheeseburger.
Not there. Okay. I was thinking. This always happens. I write it down. I just threw it at the paper. Threw my one piece. Now I don't even know what I'm supposed to say at the beginning.
You want to get that?
No. Just hold on, Teeny. Keep drinking. Let's see. This is for everybody out there that knows this song.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
Yeah. Do you know that song?
Nope.
That's Terry Jacks' Seasons in the Sun. So if you know that song, this is for you. And good news for all of you. Not gloating, but you are the last of your kind. There is a small blood stain that is on a doorknob at 57 Rickard Drive. And if scientists were able to go in there and grab a piece of that and analyze it, they would find it's anywhere between 55 and 57 years old. The stain belonged to my brother, Chuck Curley. Born in 1964, Chuck and myself and my sister and you, if you happen to know that song, and if you were a 70s kid, you are now being studied by scientists because you are now in the category of hose water drinkers, feral 70 kids. The American kids growing up in the 70s are now the last of their kind, a dying breed of species that roams the earth that is now almost completely extinct of these characteristics. Here's what scientists have learned about kids growing up in the 70s. Their brains are different from the brains of the kids now and the adults that were born in the 80s and 90s. When your mother told you to find something to do, or she would find something for you to do, which normally involved folding towels or sweeping something up or doing some chore around the house, you found something to do. And what it did to your brain was your brain learned self-directed problem solving, which led to something called unconstructive play. That would be fort building, bike riding, bike racing, bike jumping, or anything else, including rock throwing. The brain learned to generate purpose from emptiness. Imagine that. So a piece of plywood and some bricks hastily constructed as a bike ramp as you pedaled to it, hoping that you would make the jump and then hoping that you'd get to the other side, your brain learned to adaptive risk calculation. That's what scientists are calling it. So as the 70s kid pedaled towards the bike, the limbic system of the brain, the nervous system, did another thing called risk assessment and fear control that the 70s kid still has today as an adult. They've learned baseline lower anxiety levels. Pretty crazy stuff when you think about all we were doing was playing. You know, it probably led to some nasty scars on the knee or the forehead, but more importantly, you learned to control your anxiety and you learned risk assessment. So when you jump over something with your bicycle, if you're popping wheelies or climbing trees that you knew were way too high for you and you would probably get in trouble, you learn to reduce your stress. You learn to assess the fear, place that in the back of your mind, and then fill yourself with pleasure as you were able to overcome the fear. So if you were a kid in the 70s that knew that song or had a Stretch Armstrong and wanted to find out what was inside of it, or your friend gave you one arm and you got the other and you pulled the thing as far as you possibly could, or you found out that clackers hurt a lot when they hit you in the forehead, we are all better off for it. And when you were alone, which actually happened a lot when you were a little kid back in the 70s, what you learned, this is before they're calling them now pre-digital children, you learned to be less anxious about boredom. You could sit in your room for hours, just sit there, talk to a friend, and not be afraid of being alone. You were able to wait in lines as well. You learned comfortable solitude capacity, which meant that you didn't mind waiting for things, which according to scientists also gave you a thing called analog patience. Analog patience was the fact that on a Saturday morning, you had to wait around for what was known as the days of the Land of the Lost, as it was called. Or you knew that on Tuesdays was Happy Days was on Tuesday night. You could probably name the entire Friday night lineup on ABC, NBC, or CBS. If a photo was taken of your birthday party, you probably had to wait a week or 2 weeks, or in our case, you never saw them again because your mom just never bothered to take them to the photo mat, which was a small little hut in the middle of a parking lot that you had to drive kind of into on a weird angle and then hand the camera over or hand the roll of film over, and then you would come back 2 weeks later and go back to the little hut, and magically the photos would be there of your birthday party. You knew the phone number of your best friend by heart. Lawrenceville 76148 was Duffy Oldhouse's number. And if he wasn't home, you just waited. There was no phone answering machine. There was no one to take it. You just simply had to wait. You waited, and your brain got what scientists are now referring to as impulse control trained patience. And finally, the blood stain on the doorknob would reveal one thing. It was my brother who had left it behind, who had developed strong internal motivation brought on by unsupervised autonomy wiring. That's what they're calling it. So the 8-year-old who has his bike without a bike helmet that leaves the house and is only told to come back when the street lights come on. Those are the last of their kind. The kids from the 70s have different brains. And again, going back to the doorknob, here's what happened. We decided we would have a rock fight with the Marcuses that lived across the street. A new fence went up, and my dad made fun of it all the time. And the Marcuses were on one side, we were on the other. We gave ourselves a half an hour, although we weren't quite sure how long a half an hour lasted, to gather as many rocks as we possibly could. We put them into a pile on the other side of the fence, and the Marcuses yelled from their side, "We got enough rocks. We do too." And we then would start throwing rocks at each other. We couldn't see one another. There was a fence in the way. But we knew when we hit one because you could hear them scream out in pain. One of the rocks came over, hit my brother right in the forehead, and he started crying and crying. And he ran to the door and put his hand on the doorknob. And then my mom, who then hated going to hospitals because she couldn't stand the smell of hospitals, just said, "Oh, you'll be okay." And she put some ice on it and a Band-Aid, which then, of course, bled all the way down his face. And he cried even more and ruined our chance to play again with the Marcuses. We don't know what happened to the Marcuses as to whether or not any of them were hit, but the blood stain remained for the entire time that we lived in the house. And my sister went back to the home probably about 30 years ago to be able to see the house because it's fun to go back to see where you grew up. And she said she was amazed at how small the house was, how small the front door was. And she was unable to go to the back door to check the doorknob. I just wanted to see if it was still there. Some remnant of what it was like to live in the 70s. Now here we are with our big 70s brains. Hit it, Andrew.
It's hard to goodbye, my friend. It's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky.
Wow, you know this one.
Now that the spring is everywhere, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time.
Such a weird song.
Goodbye, Papa, please play for me.
I was the black sheep of the family.
I was the black sheep of the family.
Tried to teach me right from wrong.
You tried to teach me right from wrong.
Too much wine and too much song.
Too much wine and too much song.
Wonder how we got along.
Goodbye, Papa, it's hard to die. When all the birds are singing in the sky.
Yep.
Now that the spring is in the air. Little children everywhere.
Think of me and I'll be there.
When you see them, I'll be there.
Everyone, here we go.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the wine and the song were just seasons have all gone. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the wine and the song were just seasons have all gone.
Attaboy,
He's going to say goodbye to his girlfriend. He's going to say goodbye to his girlfriend.
Michelle, my little one.
Oh, no.
Oh, Michelle.
You gave me love and helped me find.
Shout out to
the sun.
Xenials, by the way.
Who?
Xenials, like
What's
Gen
that?
X, like born in 1980, 81.
Why do they deserve anything?
Because we went through the same stuff. Pre-digital.
Are you pre-digital?
Yeah.
Did you jump over things with your bike?
Absolutely.
Pop wheelies?
Punched each other in the face for fun, yeah.
Did you have a Duncan yo-yo?
Ooh, I don't know about a Dunkin' yo-yo.
Sorry. Loser! All right. Lori's checking traffic for us. How we looking out there, Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family. Eastbound I-90 at 18 reopened, but 18 at I-90 still blocked from Issaquah Humboldt all the way to I-90. A collision at 167 southbound at 512 still partly blocking. 410 at Weyerhaeuser is closed. Highway 9 from Marsh Road to Lowell Laramar closed, and again at the Skagit River. Everett to Marysville, an 11-minute drive. Seattle to Everett, a 13-minute delay. And Seattle to Tacoma, that's a 37-minute drive. Sumas border is closed, but Peace Arch is still open. 6 dealerships, 1 family. It's the Harnish Auto family year-end super sale. Wrap up the year with huge savings on popular new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit harnishautofamily.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I love the fact that Mike Novak, who knows how to sell homes, is willing to put his money where his mouth is. So if you start to see, because don't forget, interest rates have come down, you're going to see more home sale signs go up. And one of those signs, especially the one in front of your house, if you decide to sell, has got to be Mike Novak's. You've got to go to meetthenovaks.com to get Mike to sell your house, because this guy's willing to risk it for you. He said to me, Curly, you tell everybody if I don't sell their house in 21 days, you don't have to pay me a commission. You don't pay me for all the hard work I'm going to do. And he's going to do a lot of work and put his money up 70 times more than the average agent spends to market the house for you, to make sure your home gets seen and shown and sold. So Mike Novak has a system, and it works. It's proven. He does it over and over and over again. So you're noticing more houses are going online, more houses are going for sale. If your house is going to be one of them, you've got to make sure that Mike Novak is your realtor. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks.com. Novak is spelled Novak. That's meetthenovaks.com.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was 2 brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. As record flooding continues to hammer western Washington today, first responders have an urgent message for people in evacuation zones.
If you are told to leave,
please go.
Joel Hostad is with Skagit County Fire District 7 in Mount Vernon. As for the Skagit River is approaching record levels and evacuation orders are in effect. Hostad tells KIRO News Radio's G and Ursula.
The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to find a place to go. It's going to be harder to find a route to get to that because more streets are going to start flooding and it's going to be harder to get out.
Governor Bob Ferguson calling on FEMA to grant his request for an emergency disaster declaration.
The number of highways, significant highways that have closed since last night has doubled.
That's roughly 30 highways shut down, including State Route 18 at Tiger Mountain Summit. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss is there.
There was another mudslide around 6 this morning, which shut down 18 from the I-90 interchange south to Issaquah Hobart Road. WashDOT and State Patrol deemed it serious enough for a closure until everything is stable there.
Now, parts of Pierce County also remain underwater. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake joins us live from Ording. Corwin.
That atmospheric river that swamped the region earlier this week merely soaked the ground where I am here in Ording. It was the next wave that created a crisis. Josh Penner is Ording's mayor.
All the ground was saturated, all the water table was very high, and then we got hit with the second wave, which wasn't that much more water, but everything was saturated. And so we had record flows on both our rivers.
He means both the Puyallup and the Carbon rivers. The Carbon is perhaps the greater concern at the moment, but forecasters say it will fall below flood stage later this afternoon. Live in Ording, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
And now to more record flooding, this time on the Snohomish River. It is set to reach its peak at around 10 o'clock tonight. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch on some of the damage there.
The Snohomish United Soccer Club sits between the Snohomish and the Pilchuck Rivers. The fields and facilities are under about 10 feet of water. Scott Uterich runs the club and is trying to stay optimistic.
I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it. For the most part, everything out there is just grass, so it'll be some serious work to get everything ready for our tournaments this summer.
In Snohomish, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now, thankfully, the rain is starting to let up today. We'll have more on your forecast coming up, but first, we have Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Southbound I-5 from Columbia. Actually, it's the North 5 express lanes. We have a new stall. It's partly blocking the ramp. 18 at I-90 still blocked from Issaquah Hobart all the way to I-90. We still have something going on 167 southbound right there at 512. 410 at Weyerhaeuser closed. Highway 9 is closed between Marsh Road and Lowell Larimar, and again at the Skagit River. Everett to Marysville now just a 9-minute drive. Seattle to Linwood is a 13-minute delay. Seattle Tacoma 37 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Again, rain turning to showers today. Flood warnings, though, continue with some rivers still cresting. Others are rising. Will be much drier tomorrow and again on Saturday. Showers on Sunday. Right now, looking at 51 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home cover lines. Heating, cooling, plumbing and electric. Heating, cooling, plumbing and electric. There we go. Okay. All right. Hey, just stop it now. You're just toying with it. Feel like a bunch of Pavlovian dogs in here. Hear the bells ringing. Next thing you know, we start singing. Coming. Heating, cooling system. Okay. All right. Okay, stop.
Sounds like Tom Waits. I like Tom Waits there for a second.
The piano has been drinking. Scrambled eggs, scrambled yellow ham, marmalade. Anybody got a cigarette? Anybody got a cigarette? My brother and I thought it was such cool. He played at a place called the Main Point in Bryn Mawr. And a friend had the bootleg album of Tom Waits at the Main Point. And there's one point he's like, anybody got a cigarette? My brother and I thought that was so cool. Because normally you'll listen to records and it's like Terry Jacks, Seasons in the Sun. But almost like in the middle, like, anybody got a cigarette? Yeah. Tom Waits. I had breakfast with my friend Ian Jones today. By the way, I got to find it. He's got a great show tonight. Really, really cool show that's happening. Whidbey Island. I got to figure out where that is. I'll tell everybody about it. But talking about it, I said to him, my favorite Tom Waits line is spending facts of his life like small change on strangers, like just sitting at the bar, just telling you all these things, like doesn't mean anything. Are you a Tom Waits fan?
Absolutely.
Paula was his acting coach.
Really?
Yeah, she called him up one night.
Heard it, move on.
Okay, then fine. You know what? Never mind that. Never mind.
Wait.
So she calls him up one time at 2:00 in the afternoon. They're supposed to rehearse a scene. And she Tom? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up? No. Why? Oh, Tom Waits. I saw him here in Seattle. I think he came to Paramount Theater. I took some girl to a concert, and she didn't understand one word he was saying. I was like, oh, God. Break up with you. All right, this day in history. Here we go, Joe. We're going to try to do two of them.
Okay.
1963, Frank Sinatra Jr. is released by kidnappers. It's a crazy story. A guy by the name of Barry Keenan, who was in a car accident, then got addicted to muscle relaxers, and he couldn't find, it basically bankrupted him. So he went to three other guys and said, hey, I got an idea. I got a kooky, stick with me on this one. Let's kidnap Frank Sinatra Jr. We'll get $240,000. We'll let him go, and then I'll get the money, and then I'll be able to buy some more drugs, because I got a bad problem here. So he comes up with this plan, and they decide they're going to go to Lake Tahoe, and they're going to go get Frank Sinatra Jr. Because he's heading to Europe the next day. He's performing there in Lake Tahoe. So they go in, they dress up. Keenan and his accomplice dress up like delivery guys. They go into the hotel room, and there's Frank Sinatra Jr. and a guy they named Foss, the trumpet player. They're eating chicken. And then all of a sudden, Barry Keenan pulls out a gun and says, we're taking you with us, Frank, or something like that. Whatever you'd say. Frank Sinatra Jr., we're taking him with us.
This is a kidnapping.
So they tie up Foss, and they get him in the car. They're driving him up there. Well, Foss is able to wiggle out of his ropes, and he calls the police. So they set up about 400 miles out, they set up a roadblock. And as they're coming to the roadblock, Keenan turns around to Frank Sinatra Jr., who's in the backseat. Listen, just go along with it. Act like it's just a big game. So they do. And the cop's like, all right, go ahead, kids. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't get addicted to drugs either. And off they go. So they let him go. They get it to a secret highway, and they have him there in L.A. They call the police and then the FBI, and they get the $240,000. They think they're going to get away with the whole thing. Well, one of the accomplices goes to his parents' house and tells the guy the whole story. The brother then calls the FBI. Well, then the jig's up at that point. And they catch him. They go to court, and Keenan says, "Oh, the whole thing was a publicity stunt set up by the family." And people to this day think it might have all been a publicity stunt for whatever reason. I don't know. One of the guys they're going to do 25 years in prison. And then they're able to negotiate it down. And they said, I have no malice. We didn't hurt him at all. I got no history and stuff. So the one guy did 3 years, and Keenan ends up doing 4 years. But the amazing thing is, Keenan then gets out, goes into the real estate business, and is worth $17 million. He's like this, and they've done a movie about it. And he still to this day says, yeah, it was a publicity stunt. Now, why he would say that, who knows? And people would try to look into it. Why would the Sinatra family and Frank Sinatra Jr. want the kid to get kidnapped? I don't know what was happening in 1968 68, that they'd want the publicity. Maybe because Frank Sinatra Jr. was kind of a crappy performer.
On the way down, yeah.
Well, he never on the way up. He never really went anywhere. He was never anything like his dad. But why they would kidnap him, I don't know. But there's a movie out there about it.
Huh.
Yeah, and when they came to Keenan and said, we'll give you $1.5 million for the story to tell the whole thing, Frank Sinatra Jr.'s lawyers blocked it and said, no, you can't do that. And then Keenan came along and says, hey, that's my First Amendment right. You can't block that. But there's a law that says that you cannot profit from a crime. So I guess we will never know the rest of the story. What else you got?
Well, you want to talk about the Lufthansa heist?
Yes.
1978?
Yes.
Oh, It's one of my favorites.
Here's the breaking news announcement.
December 11th may go down as the day of the biggest robbery in our country's history, and it happened right here in New York. Somewhere between $3 and $5 million in cash and valuables was taken from the Lufthansa cargo terminal out at Kennedy Airport. And the law enforcement officers say that it was carried off with such precision and such daring, you almost have to consider it an inside job.
Was it an inside job? I ask you, Joe.
Yes,
Wallace.
it was an inside job. I'll give you the quick cliff notes.
Yes.
So there was a guy that worked there at the airport, and he realized that, hey, sometimes these shipments from Europe, from money that's being spent by Americans in Europe, comes back to the United States to go to the banking system. Sometimes they come in late at night or after all the trucks had left, so occasionally they have to be left over the weekend and picked up on Monday. So he decides he wants to rob the storage unit. He tells his buddy that also works there, hey, I got an idea. We can pull this off. There's like $3 million cash and a couple million in jewels there.
Right.
And his buddy, speaking of degenerates, had a huge gambling debt, like the drugs too. He decides to turn right around, stab that guy in the back, and go tell his buddy Hank Hill, who was loosely associated with the Lucchese crime family.
Yes.
Not a made guy, but on the outside. Goodfellas was made almost entirely about this movie. It's fantastic. So he gets a couple of his buddies together, and then with their mob ties, they orchestrate this big heist. They get $3 million in cash. I think it's worth like $21 million today, and a couple million in jewelry that was also there. They get away with it seemingly for about 2 years until one of the guys, not Hank Hill, but his buddy that was played by De Niro, starts getting paranoid. The people are spending too much of the money.
He's
They're
getting weak on us. He's getting weak. He's talking. He's going to roll over. I'm aware of it.
They're bringing attention. So he starts taking out everybody in the heist. I think 8 people that were involved got murdered. Then they pick up Hank Hill on drug charges. He's deep into cocaine. They get him driving with a bunch of blow, and he ends up ratting out everybody.
He goes soft. He turns over on the guy. The whole thing.
He squawked. He rolled over on his buddies. That brought everything down. But a lot of the money was never recovered. So
here's the reporter on the heist.
The Red Baron was caught napping, and not by amateurs either. This band of robbers had everything down pat and made the entire caper from beginning to end go as smoothly as Swiss clockwork.
This guy's reading this from a novel.
Before 4 this morning, while the moon was on the wane, a black Ford van slipped out of the shadows in the cargo area and stopped at a padlocked gate of the adjacent Argentine airline.
Yeah, see?
One snip with heavy bolt cutters, and that security checkpoint might as well not have been there. The band of robbers, 6 and perhaps 7 men wearing ski masks, drove around to the loading dock. When they jumped one Lufthansa worker, his screams made a security guard inside open the door. That was the end of...
He screamed like a little girl, see? Like a girl. like a girl would scream, see?
Security. The gunman rushed inside and knew exactly where to go. They forced the night supervisor to disconnect the silent police alarm and then take them to the high-value room on the first floor.
Yeah.
After the supervisor had opened the safe for the thieves, the rest was duck soup.
Ooh.
Duck soup.
They don't do them like that anymore anyway.
Frank Sinatra Jr.?
No, this is Tony Bennett.
I'd go from rags to riches.
Oh, is this from the movie?
Yes.
From the movie.
Oh,
If you would only
one of the best movies ever made.
Which one is it?
Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas. Not Miller's Crossing? You don't like Miller's Crossing?
I can't even say that I've seen it, but it's not better than Goodfellas.
I think my friend's dad's character is in that thing.
Really?
The mayor of Jersey City, New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, Whalen.
What's it about? I mean, what's the?
It's about a bunch of Italian guys who go around whacking each other.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Right up my alley.
Lori's checking traffic. Lori!
I-5 northbound getting onto the express lanes from Columbia. Look out for a stall partly blocking the ramp. We have another problem earlier today. It was I-705 to North 5. Now it's northbound I-5 getting onto I-705, an accident in the left lane. 18 at I-90 still blocked from Issaquah Hobart all the way to I-90. 167, we're still seeing a problem going on there right at 512. 410 at Weyerhaeuser is closed. Highway 9 closed at Marsh Road to Lower Larimar in both directions, as well as at the Skagit River. Seattle to Everett now an extra 18 minutes, an hour 11 minutes, and Seattle Tacoma an hour and 12 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I got to tell you something. If you are over the age of 50, you don't want to wear readers or glasses or contacts, you're concerned about cataracts, You've got to do what I did. I think it was about 5 years ago now. I went because I kept hearing about RLE, refractive lens exchange. And you can look online. You can see there's a bunch of different doctors that do it. I chose to go see K2 Vision, RLE. And I went and met Dr. Kopstein. First thing I liked about Kopstein, we talked about golf and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's done, 100,000 of these things. And I know I'm in great hands. And he goes, now listen, I am not going to do this procedure on you unless it's going to have great results. I might tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. How many doctors will tell you to come back if it's not going to give you great results? So very high standard. Looks at my eyes, says, yeah, your eyes are in bad shape. Let's take care of them. And we sign up. I do 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other, both eyes done in one day. Go back in. I think the next day I got 20/20 vision. Never looked back. Great vision. No more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts. RLE. That's K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. This holiday season, give your home the gift it's been waiting for. Beautiful new windows and doors from Pella, making your home brighter, cozier, and more energy efficient for the year ahead. Right now, enjoy 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of zero interest with equal payments. Premium products, expert installation, and service that feels like family. It's why homeowners across the Northwest trust Pella. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your in-home consultation today.
This is the sale car buyers wait for. 6 dealerships, 1 family. It's the Harnish Auto Family Year-End Super Sale. Wrap up the year with savings on all 2025 models, plus amazing deals on pre-owned vehicles. Chevrolet, Kia, Volkswagen, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. 22 acres of trucks, SUVs, EVs, and cars make finding your perfect ride easy. Visit HarnishAutoFamily.com or stop by Everett or Puyallup today. That's HarnishAutoFamily.com. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
A special message from Hartley and Wilcox Family Farms.
This time of year, as we enjoy family, I think about how life on the farm must have been over 100 years ago. One thing that remains constant is our love of family, the animals, and the land. So as your family gathers, we hope you feel good about cooking and baking with fresh, local Wilcox eggs, just like we've done for the past 100 years. From our family to yours, happy holidays. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Over 20 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Again, a big thank you, everybody that participated, donating your hard-earned dollars to Treehouse. Thank you, everyone. Let's see, those people. Who wants to be a letter of the day? Is it going to be Paul again in Sammamish? We'll find out. Teeny. Yeah, whatever.
I do not know.
1-888-973-5476. All right, so now I like In-N-Out Burger. There, I go to the one in I guess out near Napa or Sonoma, wherever it is. Yeah, Napa. It's nice there. You go in there. That's where the kids all have the little hats on, like 1950s. Great customer service. Between that one and then Chick-fil-A, just outstanding customer service. They're so friendly and kind, and they seem excited to take your order. And normally you go in there and they get a little buzz. They're 23, and you step on up and you go get your fries and your burger and everything else. Well, now they have decided that no more 6-7, no more number 67, because kids have ruined it. Go ahead, you just ruined it for everybody else. Now whoever wants to be number 67 can't be 67, because when these kids will go to these kids the way they are today, they go to the In-N-Out Burger, and then when they, number 66, you go up to get it.
And get your phones out.
And get your phone out, and then all of a sudden,
the 6-7 trend that went viral in 2025.
Yes, 6-7!
May finally be coming to an end. Well, at least at In-N-Out Burger. Employees say the West Coast burger chain has retired the number 6-7 from its ticket system following disruptions from teens and children swarming the restaurant to film employees announcing the order number.
I've always said that if you want kids to stop doing something, then adults should start doing it.
I thought as soon as we mentioned it like a couple months ago, this thing would be over.
Still going on?
Still going on.
We had the kids from a choir yesterday, and boy, they really wanted 6-7, didn't they?
Yes, they did. The Northwest Boys Choir.
Yeah.
And tonight we have the apprentices, the Northwest Boy Choir apprentices from the Seattle area, and they have asked me to do this for you. 6-7. Is that right? 6-7. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, you are captivating on camera.
Yeah. Andrew, how do you make them stop?
Hey, that's not nice.
Oh, okay.
It's a boys' choir.
They're very good, by the way.
Very good.
Phenomenal.
I like the fact that I think Jacob said, we really need to get to the music right away because a couple of kids look like they're falling asleep.
I think I heard some of them were yawning on the stage because it was so late.
It was late for them, yeah. But again, if you want kids to stop doing something, adults just need to do it. If adults start doing it, then it's not cool. But if you go, will you kids stop with the 6-7 thing? It only makes them want to do it longer. It just keeps going. Or if it starts with the cool kids, the older kids do it, then the little kids pick it up. Then when the older kids stop doing it, then the little kids stop. So it's sort of a domino effect down into pop culture, whatever it is.
So you got to start squeezing it in, and it'll be over before we know it.
Yeah, it's done. But Burger, the reason In-N-Out stopped it is because all these kids would show up, not order anything, tie up the ordering area, and then wait for it, and then put it out on social media.
Speaking of inside jobs, they must have had one of the employees must have said, "Hey, send out a group text saying it's coming up. Be here at noon."
And then they'd all be there.
That's right.
Okay. Well, let's see. Port Angeles or Port Orchard signature gatherers harassed by people that really want to defend democracy. Or the hypocrisy here, you can smell it. Plus, also, we'll talk more about the big rain and how much longer the flooding's going to be going on. And then, of course, our good governor talking about the historic flooding. Is there going to have a flooding tax? That would seem appropriate. Here's Lori checking traffic for us. Lori.
Duval, Carnation, and Falls City Eastside Fire and Rescue says, please stay off of the closed roads. They've already had to rescue a bunch of people. The water is really swift, so they're asking you to stay off of all the closed roads. 18 at I-90 closed from Issaquah, Hobart. 167, we've still got that southbound collision at 512. Highway 9 still completely closed. Marsh Road to Lower Larimar and at the Skagit River. Heading to Marysville from Everett, a 9-minute drive. Now, if you're going from Seattle to Everett or Seattle to Tacoma, both an hour and 12 minutes. The Sumas border is also closed, but Peace Arch is still open. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. You were admonishing those people going through those areas. All right, listen, on the 17th of December at 6 o'clock, please make a note to be available to hear from my doctor, Dr. Mark Wagner, because this is a free webinar. If you've got a bad knee or an elbow or a wrist or shoulder or hip like I had, and you've been told, well, you should probably get surgery and replace the knee or get new knees or get a new hip or do something about the shoulder, hold on, everybody. Hang on. How about a stem cell procedure? Dr. Mark Wagner's done 20,000 of these. It's an in-office procedure. It takes about 90 minutes. And I can tell you, after 8 weeks, I'm running again. I hadn't run in like 7 years because I had such a bad hip. I have avoided the knife, and I've gotten stem cell. And if you've got lots of questions, and I'm sure you do, just like I did, you really should make an appointment. On the 17th of December at 6 p.m., you can sign up, and you can ask as many questions as you want. Dr. Mark Wagner will be there. I'll try to get on the line as well. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. This is going to be on the 17th of December. If you're considering stem cell procedures, this is the guy. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. You can sign up at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Historic Washington state flooding.
The situation is extremely unpredictable.
Senate rejects health care subsidies extension.
They know these premiums are rising.
About that oil tanker seized off Venezuela's coast.
The vessel is currently undergoing a forfeiture process.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Thousands are evacuated in Washington state as floodwaters inundate major roads, homes, and businesses. Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a state of emergency.
This is a potentially catastrophic event. That's the words of the National Weather Service, with the potential for significant loss of life.
CBS's Carter Evans is in Monroe.
In the Cascade Mountains, they got 14 inches or more of rain. And they know that water is headed downstream right now. And a lot of these communities already have standing water in them. So it's a matter of how much water is coming down the mountain right now. And will their flood control efforts be enough to contain it? In many cases, they think not. So many of these communities right now are doing preemptive evacuations.
Indiana Senate Republicans vote against new congressional maps in defiance of President Trump's push to redraw maps that would benefit the GOP. Welcome news to the Reverend David Green Sr. of Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis.
We believe democracy works best when it listens to the least, the last, and the left out.
President Trump is threatening to not support Indiana's Republican leader in the primary. The Senate fails to advance measures that would extend tax credits under the Affordable Care Act. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Going into this, we knew that both bills were going to fail, and the lawmakers who proposed them did too. But both parties felt like they needed to come to the floor with something.
Julie Rovner of KFF Health News says more than 20 million Americans could see their premiums rise.
Many people are going to be forced to drop their coverage. They simply cannot afford these additional premiums. Some will drop down and get less generous coverage, which also puts them at risk of not being able to get needed care.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia's attorney says his client, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador and later returned to the U.S., has left an immigration detention facility. It comes after a judge rules that ICE had no legal basis to detain him. CBS's Jake Rosen.
He's going to be a free man living with his family in Maryland while the Trump administration Justice Department is intending on prosecuting him, and the Department of Homeland Security will seemingly find a way to at least move to deport him.
Abrego Garcia still faces criminal charges in Tennessee. A federal grand jury refuses to indict former New York Attorney General Letitia James for a second time in about a week, according to two CBS News sources, as prosecutors struggle to revive a criminal case against President Trump's adversary. The Dow and S&P end at fresh records. Now this.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Well, after days of rain, some of the worst flooding has still yet to arrive. We'll get the latest after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Well, some good news in Sumner. 410 has reopened. 18 at I-90 closed all the way from Issaquah, Hobart still. 167, though, at 512, that's still closed. There's a problem. I'm not sure if traffic's getting through, but at least a couple of lanes are closed. Highway 9 closed both directions from Marsh Road to Lower Laramar and at the Skagit River. Everett to Marysville, an easy 9-minute drive. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 12 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour 11 minutes. And Seattle to Everett and Seattle to Tacoma, also an hour and 12 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The rain is letting up right now, but major flooding remains a concern tonight.
This situation is unpredictable. It's dangerous.
That is the state's emergency director, Robert Azell, in Mount Vernon, where evacuation orders are still in effect for tens of thousands of residents. Governor Bob Ferguson says if you're still there, leave now.
Please, please, please evacuate.
Governor asking FEMA to grant an emergency disaster declaration as some rivers have not yet reached their peak levels. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Morgan Palmer says that includes the rising Skagit River in Mount Vernon.
We're not going to hit our crest until we get to about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that is in record flood stage. It looks like 2 to 3 feet above record flood stage. Not as dire, at least, as we saw in some of the forecasts yesterday, but still very bad.
In Snohomish County, the Seattle Times reports more than 24 people were rescued today. State Senator and former County Sheriff John Lovick toured the flood damage in the city of Snohomish.
You have to see it to believe it, and when you see it, you can't believe it. I've been in this county for many, many years, spent many hours in the city of Snohomish, and I've not seen anything like this in my life.
KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley is at one of those flooded-out neighborhoods.
And I know as of about 1 o'clock today, there were still 7 adults who were deciding to wait out the storm, and they were staying put on the upper levels of their home. We know 2 children were rescued out of that home earlier this morning. We saw probably a total of about 15 people rescued by rescue swimmers on rafts just on this one street today.
Now to Pierce County, where KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake reports from Ording.
Even as the Puyallup River reached 12 feet over flood stage, people in Ording knew another threat still loomed. This is Mayor Josh Penner.
Record flows on both our rivers, the Puyallup and the Carbon, and yesterday we had some overtopping of a levee right at the very downstream part of the city.
Mayor Penner tells me about 50 homes here are under level 2 or level 3 evacuation orders. In Ording, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Checking your weather forecast now, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Again, the heaviest rain has let up now. We are turning to showers in some parts of the region, but rivers, they are still at risk of flooding. Many have not yet reached their peak. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why you enjoy the show. Why do you enjoy the show?
Hi, everybody. It's Sue Bell in Palm Beach. Just because the weather's not great doesn't mean that you don't have to look great. I've got my Ralph Lauren raincoat that's like over 20 years. Never give up on a garment because of a little age. That's my motto. And because it's chilly, I've got my Sable Foxy that I just love.
Right.
I've got my bag, my Belgian loafers. They're wedged, so it's good for rain. I think that's about it because I have to go do some errands.
Oh, errands. Swing by the state store, get a big bottle of vodka, dive it in today. All right, Scott Sistek. The stories we had just basically stole some of your thunder.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my gosh. Lifetime Washingtonian there in Port Angeles. Your media careers are meteorologist at Como News. You've seen a lot. Can you put all this in perspective? I know that the 2 stories we just did sort of explained a lot of it. And that we have had floods before in the history of Washington. Where does this one rank if you try to put it in is a top 10, top 5, top 3?
Top 5 to top 3, I would say. Especially a lot of the rivers we're looking at are trying to chase records from 1990. That was the same flood that sank the old I-90 bridge, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
That way back when. So like the Skagit, the Snohomish, and the Cedar Rivers, all their records stretch back to 1990. 2009 was another big flood year, 1995. And then 2021, we had some pretty decent floods up at Nooksack, and they're matching those numbers again this time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of these rivers that, even if they aren't hitting the records, are in top 3, top 5 territory.
Are there certain things that have to happen, Scott, in order for them to be really bad? Is it there's a dry season for a while, and then all of a sudden it's a tremendous amount of rain? Do things need to line up to make it? We go back to what that horrible Oso flood, and then of course the landslide there. Are we setting things up for that type of catastrophe? Not that I'm asking for it.
Well, there's a couple things that go into what made like this particular flood so bad. Was it was warm and we didn't have a whole lot of snow up there to start. So usually snow can a lot of people think like all the snow melts and it runs into the rivers. That's not quite, I mean, that's a little bit of the story, but actually the snow kind of acts like a sponge. So when you get a lot of rain onto a heavy, like a snowpack, you still get a lot of water running into the rivers. You don't get all of it. And in this case, we had almost no snow up there. So all that water is going straight into the river. So that was one thing. And the second thing was this storm was really warm. And two, the storm lasted a long time. Usually we use the word atmospheric river a lot these days. They usually last like a day or two, but this has been kind of like a 4-day event.
Yeah. Who, by the way, who's cashing in on the copyright of atmospheric river? You never used that term. Did you ever use that one when you were doing Como News?
Pineapple Express we used to. Atmospheric river is new. It's newer. The research has been around forever, but the use in the media is kind of picked up. I've been joking. It's like it's the West Coast version of polar vortex.
Yes, yeah, we get a polar vortex.
Like they're having polar vortex back east. We get atmospheric river. I think it's like SEO gold. Like someone who's worked on the web a lot. It's like
I like Pineapple Express, but Scott, Pineapple Express seems sort of fun, like a movie one would go watch.
You could. That's right. There was one named Pineapple Express. The Pineapple Express is supposed to be specific. It's supposed to be that the storm taps into moisture near Hawaii.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily this storm didn't really touch Hawaii until toward the end of it. Mostly it was farther west. So it wasn't really a Pineapple Express by our definition of it. But I mean, colloquially speaking, atmospheric river isn't really like an official term, and neither is Pineapple Express. You can kind of you can make cases for or against. It's not like a category 3 hurricane where there's it has to meet this number or this number.
Yeah.
You have some leeway with it. And we use that leeway all the time.
Yeah, Scott, I don't, that's right. No one's going to hold you to any of it. So I was looking at Seattle Times. I don't know if it's true or not, but it says this week's atmospheric river, there it is, could be among the longest on record. And then they say that it doesn't necessarily take us out of our drought situation.
Yeah, I haven't seen the drought numbers lately. I know it usually takes more than one storm to kind of knock you out of a drought, especially depending on how big of a drought you were in to begin with. So it probably didn't just erase it off the board, but I'm sure it made a significant dent.
Yeah.
But a lot of this too is we didn't get the snowpack out of this. The mountains are just as bare now as they were when they started. So a lot of that water is it's here and now it's going to be gone. It's going to just all flow away. So we really need the storms where we just get the 4, 5, 6 feet of snow in the mountains, and then it can rain in the lowlands. That's fine, and that's the best case scenario.
Looking out in the radar right now, is it pretty much over at this point? We have found the end of the atmospheric river.
Yep, there's still some lingering showers out there through today. It's kind of moving north, so today's kind of the last little trail. Definitely the worst is over.
Right.
And then the next 2 days are relatively calm. Sunday we bring a little bit of rain in here, and then next week we're kind of giving the weary eye toward, here comes more. There's another kind of storm looming out there Monday, Tuesday. Nothing to what we just went through, that straight out there, but another warm storm is kind of lurking Monday, Tuesday. And if you look at the charts for the flood, the flood river forecast, they kind of bump back up again next week. They're coming off this huge peak, and then it kind of goes back up a little bit Tuesday, Wednesday. More like minor to moderate instead of this major to record flooding that we've had.
Meteorologist Scott Sistek, are we also looking at a La Nina winter? And explain everybody what that is.
So La Nina is that tracks ocean temperatures in the Central Pacific Ocean. And so when it's La Nina, that means they're colder than average. And usually a La Nina winter is rainy, as we've seen, but it's also usually colder. This has been unusual. Usually you don't get the big flooding Pineapple Express type storms in a La Nina. It's the snowy 5 feet of snow at the mountains and the skiers are loving it type storm. So we've been definitely behind on a La Nina thing, but it does, spoiler alert, it looks a little better in the long range.
Okay, good. And because I think the cold, what I had seen, and we saw from Cliff Mass and from other meteorologists, much like yourself in high esteem, is the fact that the colder weather is coming in after December. So in January, skiers and anybody else that wants to miss school.
There may be there. I talked about the next warm storm next week. Toward the end of next week, it does look like we stay wet, but the snow levels come down to where we may start getting some really heavy snows past like next Wednesday. So I'm hopeful that it's like the start of next week, not so good, but maybe the end of next week, skiers finally start like, okay, finally.
Yeah, and that's where the Como news producers come running in. They'd be like, "Can you predict a white Christmas? Can you give them a white Christmas?" Remember those days?
Oh yeah, and then Charlie's asked me that several times this week already. He's trying to get me on the record for it.
Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. You're better than that, Scott. You don't need to be, dragged around with a white Christmas stuff over your head.
Yeah. It's only a 1 in 13 year on a statistical odds. It's 1 every 13 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So
well, maybe
not
we're due for one. Yeah, we're not good.
It's not 0. It's like 7% chance.
Okay. All right. I see what you're doing there. Plus, by the way, you got your Mariner sweatshirt on. So that's your
yes. Well, it's the All-Star game, but the Mariner one too.
Very nice. You look great. All right. Well, thanks, Scott, for spending some time with us. Don't let Charlie kick you around there on the morning show. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. Stay dry. There he goes. Thank you. Listen, I was talking to Kelly, who is involved in getting those initiatives in place, right? The one Parents' Bill of Rights, which would be the school has to notify the parent if something bad happens to the kid, right? Let's say the kid comes home and complaining, crying in their room, doesn't want to tell you what's going on. Maybe something horrible happened at school. You call the school. The school, the way it is right now, has 48 hours before they're allowed to tell you what happened. Or the kid goes to school, smart kids are when they're 13 years old, and they say, oh, by the way, I'm a girl. The school can keep all that information from the parent and then can start to get a quote unquote, some sort of gender work done for the kid. Doesn't the parent have the right to know what's happening with the child? Does the parent have the right to know what the child's mental state is? Or does the school get a chance to retain all that information and let the parents know whenever the school determines that they should know? Most people would probably disagree with that. They're given an opportunity to sign initiatives, that one in particular, Parents' Bill of Rights, which got gutted the first time it went in, and now they're going to go back at it. And unfortunately, there are a bunch of people that don't like you having to sign that initiative, and they would try to stop you. So I asked Kelly, who's working with Brian Hayward on this thing, how it's going. And I said, well, why don't you just post all the different places where people can sign these signatures if they'd like? Everybody talks about protecting democracy. Wouldn't you like to, or at least being able to just have democracy, if you consider democracy to be able to have your voice heard through the initiative program? And she said we had to take down the locations where the signatures gatherers were, and we had to take the gatherers away because they were getting punched in the face, and they were getting harassed, and all of the signatures and the paper was being torn up and thrown aside. It's really interesting because Senator Patty Murray, has been in there for a long time. She has come out really strong against the other initiative, which is boys are not allowed to compete against girls in girls' sports. She has said that she just hates the fact that this is there. You're spreading hate, trans rights, people's rights, all this other stuff. It's really interesting because here's Patty Murray in 2003, Brandy Cruz at Undivided, and Nicole Thompson told us about this. Here is Patty Murray. This is in 2003. They're on the floor, doing everything she can to save Title IX.
I remain committed to doing all that I can to protect Title IX and the future of every girl in Washington State and around the country who dreams of making the team, wearing a uniform, or winning an athletic scholarship. I urge President Bush to protect existing Title IX policies and give every young girl in America the chance to experience the roar of a crowd and not just cheer from the sidelines.
Okay, so Title IX basically saying the boys' sports, girls' sports equally need to be funded, right? And then I think it was in April of Biden's last year, there was a bill that was kicking around and was basically would remove that, and it would extend and say a boy who identifies as a girl would be able to compete in girls' sports. It was clunking around for a while there. It sort of died in August, and I don't think it ended up going anywhere, but they really wanted to push this thing. So a boy who thinks he's a girl could go in there, and you could have like a Leah Thomas. You could be like 423rd when it came to swimming as a boy, but then you decide that you're a girl, and then you setting all sorts of records. Well, the University of Pennsylvania has gotten rid of all those. They took the records away, and now they are strictly saying girls compete against girls. girls. Boys compete against boys. We're going to keep it as it is. The state of Washington is in the middle of possibly a lawsuit, which would be that the federal government would come in with enforcing Title IX. And then not only from the federal pressure, but locally, Brian Hayward and a bunch of others have gotten together and said, hey, we'll let the people of Washington decide. Do you think boys should compete against boys and girls compete against girls? That's the question. The initiative is protecting girls' sports. The initiative is in front of Fred Meyer there in Port Orchard. Some lady comes up, starts screaming and yelling about hate. You're pushing hate, or you hate people, or whatever else it is. And then they go in there and they tell the manager of the different Fred Meyers or different supermarkets, hey, we don't want these initiative gatherers out there. So the guys that run the stores are like, okay, don't set up out here. So there's been pressure. Police have been called. People have been punched. There's been violence because the people that are throwing the punches don't want your voice, don't want you to have your say, because ultimately they have the say. All they have to do is say that you are an evil, horrible, hateful person, and therefore we need to stop you, and we will stop your First Amendment rights, and you're not allowed to sign the ballots. So what they've now done is they've gone to churches. They're at mosques and churches, and they're gathering the signatures there. They need to get over the total in order to make sure that the thing then is official. So I'm looking at the official totals. Kelly just sent this on 001, 297,235. On 638, they're at 324,525. So they got to get over 300 and some thousand on the one. So they're close. They're getting close. Look, if you think boys should be able to compete against girls, if that's what you believe, well, there you go. But these people would like to have girls compete against girls, and they want their voice heard. So if you decide you want to go into a store or go in front of somebody and punch them, or tear up the ballots, or tear up the paper and throw it on the ground, well, where are you defending democracy? And how respectful are you of other people's rights? Patty Murray seems to flip on this thing because I guess she figures that she doesn't want the ire of the activists coming after her. Do you have some of the sound of the Port Orchard people?
Yeah.
When was that from? When did that happen? Do you know?
The Port Orchard incident, I think, was just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, okay. Here's
just
a couple of angry ladies and angry men that are out there. You got it? Let me do it? There we go. There's somebody who's mad about something. Okay, can we hear her?
Hang on, Andrew, you got sound?
I pretty much guess what she's going to say. Yeah, it's probably the same person who would talk about democracy and saving democracy. Yeah, very upset. Is that a guy?
Is genitals yet? Hi.
Hi,
Film me. I'm Chrissy Wiley. I'm transgender.
You're being recorded.
This guy is worried about what's in my pants.
Want to help get these on the ballot?
This guy is very concerned about what's in my pants.
Oh, thank you.
So you can come to Fred Meyer and you can see this. You can talk to this lady too, and fine. Yeah. We'll stand here and tell people what you're about.
So if you don't leave
You
me,
got kids?
Yes, I do.
Are they here?
She's in school.
Oh, they're in school.
Yeah,
Okay.
where they should be.
Okay.
If
Do
you
they
guys,
know their dad's worried about what's in my pants? Yeah. Weirdo.
so if you don't,
What is wrong with you?
I'm calling 911.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Genitals yet? Hi.
Yeah, that's an interesting sort of distraction from the discussion. I don't think the person cares what's in your pants. You seem to have more concern about what's in your pants, or what should be in your pants. That guy is basically saying, I'm going to give people the right to be able to say whether they think girls should be able to compete against girls. That's it. Oh, here's somebody else that's in there.
Same store.
Same store. Is this all Port Orchard?
Yep, same day.
Oh, gosh.
Just leave. You're not even supposed to be here. The store doesn't even want you here.
Will you guys sign these
hey.
initiatives? Parents' rights, keep boys out of girls' sports, citizenship. Signed it already. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You don't give a about girls. Why don't you ask a girl whether...
Will you sign these initiatives? Parents' rights, keep boys out of girls' sports, citizenship to vote.
You're idiots.
Jesus loves you.
You're idiots.
Will you sign these initiatives? Parents' rights, keep boys out of girls' sports.
Oof, God, can you imagine having that job?
Yeah.
When they were in Cle Elum, though, I asked the guy, I said, how's it going here in Cle Elum? I figure, the 98922 people, they're not going to have a problem with this. He said about a third of the people that were coming up to him at the Safeway there were yelling and screaming at him.
Well, part of the reason they had to take the addresses down or not publicize them is because there's a group that is sending people out to every single one that's listed. So if they know they're going to be there, they specifically send people to go harass them.
In I think it was, what year was it? 1992? What year was that? 1991, they had an initiative on the ballot that gave women the right to choose abortion, with fetal viability in 1991. signature gatherers. It was for Initiative 120. I don't know. I tried to find where there were a bunch of pro-life people that were out there punching people, setting things on fire, and throwing the initiatives in the garbage and tearing it up. When you believe you're at the moral high ground, like a lot of these people do, they feel like, well, your First Amendment doesn't count. You don't really have a voice because I'm allowed to morally be superior to you because you have offended me and you throw the word hate around. Just be careful because you certainly don't want other people playing that game. But hopefully they get the signatures and people have their democracy, however they want to describe it. All right, Lori's checking traffic for us. Lori?
Well, some more good news. 18 at I-90 is reopened. Still pretty heavy traffic, though, as you head from Issaquah, Hobart, all the way to I-90. But definitely that roadway is open. 410 is reopened in Sumner. We still have this accident, 167 at 512. And Highway 9 still closed, Marsh Road to Lower Larimar and at the Skagit River. Bellevue to Everett now, an hour 12 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour 11 minutes. If you're heading from Tacoma to Federal Way, that's 13 minutes. Seattle-Tacoma is an hour 10, and Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 2 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
In 2009, I went to go see the doctors over there at Longevity Medical Clinic because a friend of mine had told me to go there because I was having trouble sleeping, dealing with stress, wasn't able to gain weight. I just finished running an Ironman. I thought, well, maybe I just sort of overtrained. And it was really interesting when I met with Dr. Mixon. He said, so would you do a long distance? I said, yeah. He goes, okay. And he wrote down on a piece of paper what he thought my estrogen level would be and what my testosterone level would be. They drew blood. He said, come back in 2 weeks. I did. And he had the numbers on a piece of paper, and then he spun the computer around. He goes, now this is where I thought you'd be. This is where you are, and this is where you are, and the numbers line up. I said, how'd you know that? He goes, I see this all the time. A lot of athletes that train long distance, it messes up their hormones. He goes, but more importantly, I found another number that concerns me. And again, I thought I'm in the best shape of my life. He said, HDL, LDL, what do you know about cholesterol? And he told me, he goes, this number is very alarming. Tell me about your father. I told him about my dad. How about your grandfather? We talked about heart disease in the family. We got to get those numbers down. I've been a patient since 2009. I can tell you right now, I'm getting longevity. We're dealing with all the issues by being proactive. You want to learn more about your health and how to extend it, extend your life? Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was two brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why would I do that? They said, you're more than just a rapper. You're a car collector. You're a businessman. You're an inventor. Just like AAA is more than just towing. They have awesome travel advisors and insurance agents. And they got 3 A's in their name. Maybe I should change my name. Give me 3 A's. Mix A, mix A. When I say mix, give me 3 A's. Mix A.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours. Even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
KIRO Newsradio. Breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Gornillo. This just in. The Puyallup River now forcing even more evacuations as the river spills into an apartment complex. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake just arrived at that scene in Puyallup near Meridian Avenue and Highway 167. Corwin.
And I'm just alongside the Puyallup River, which is much broader than it usually is, right next to the bridge that crosses over Meridian North. That water has spilled into the parking lot of the Crossroads at Meridian apartment complex. That complex parking lot is now underwater. And earlier we learned that the complex was under a level 3 evacuation order. It looks deserted now, and it's a good thing because anyone who still has to get out of that place has no way to do it except by rolling up their pants and going barefoot, as I'm seeing a couple of guys come along with what looks like a cat carrier. So Crossroads Point at Meridian, evacuation orders as the Puyallup River spreading farther than I've seen it in quite some time, Aaron.
Thank you, Corwin. Major flooding also arriving near the Washington-Canadian border. Parts of Sumas and Whatcom County are underwater. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu is there.
We saw crews moving around town on jet skis and inflatable boats. Rescuers also drove around in loaders and brush trucks to get through the high water. We spoke to a couple who watched downtown flood, then watched the water rise up over their field, up a hill, and into their garage over the course of just a few hours. They say this is the worst they've ever seen the area flood.
Michelle Newell lives in Deming in Whatcom County, and she shared photos with KIRO 7 TV showing her neighbor's home falling into the Nooksack River.
It's complete and utter devastation in Deming. We could really use some help.
And record-setting river flooding is not over yet. A handful of rivers are still rising. Governor Bob Ferguson spoke today in Mount Vernon, where the Skagit River is set to crest at around 10 tomorrow morning.
This is a potentially catastrophic event. That's the words of the National Weather Service, with the potential for significant loss of life.
Now, so far, no major rescuing in Skagit County, but in Snohomish, homes have been evacuated, families rescued, roads closed, and now another big problem, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
The City of Snohomish Public Works Department on 1st Street is underwater. It sits directly on the river's edge, and the entire complex is submerged. Workers like shop mechanic Rich Karshany have never seen it this way before.
I've worked here just shy of 14 years, and I've never seen it like this.
This is a disaster for us.
Obviously, this department is pivotal, so before the flood, critical equipment was moved to higher ground. In Snohomish, James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
And more than 30 major state highways have been shut down due to flooding. Let's go to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33. We check in with Lori.
Well, the good news is State Route 18 is reopened at I-90. Still pretty heavy traffic both directions between there and Issaquah Hobart. 167 southbound at 512. We still have a collision blocking there. Highway 9 from Marsh Road to Lowell Larimar shut down again at Cedar Woolley and at Sumas. But the other exit is on I-5 is still open at the border. Bellevue to Linwood, 45 minutes of Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour, 17 minutes. That's about a 16-minute slowdown. Seattle to Linwood, you're looking at about a half an hour. Seattle to Federal Way, 50 minutes. That's an extra 7 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain turning to showers now, but still impressive rainfall totals, mainly centered on the mountains at this hour. Flood warnings continuing with some rivers cresting, others still to rise as the night goes on. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning brings you the most urgent headlines, the things you need to know before you head out the door. Just like you need that cup of coffee, they'll help you start your day off on the right foot. Live breaking news, KIRO 7 pinpoint weather, and KIRO 7 real-time traffic to help you avoid those back-to-school backups. Check in with KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Thank you, Joe. Well said, well read. Don't forget about Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers for the hard shop person on your Christmas list. How about a gift certificate to Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers? I don't think they have them. But they should. They've been around for 16 years. They've been around 50 years. They got 16 locations. Take the kids to Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers for the holidays. Okay, so Friday night, Nick and I are getting on a plane, flying to Vegas. You go see Zach Brown Band at the Sphere. And I knew that it had opened, I think, last Friday. A couple of friends went to go see it. And I was like, oh, it's going to be, sort of typical Zach Brown thing. I don't know how they're going to incorporate his music into it. But then the word comes out that it's demonic. Somebody dark and evil, somebody said, be the light in the darkness instead of ushering in the darkness and the evil. This makes me very sad. You've lost me as a fan. Zach Brown, what are you doing? I'm cringing. You sold your soul. I'm just reading something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Syracuse.com says popular country music group accused of performing satanic ritual on stage.
Oh, no.
Taste of Country says, was Zach Brown's band's show in Vegas a satanic ritual? Here's what the Church of Satan had to say.
What did they say?
They said they emphatically denied that there was anything satanic about the open. This is the Church of Satan. They emphatically denied anything was satanic about the opening weekend of the Zach Brown band's Love and Fear show. And he said, I wish social media and the media in general would stop hysterics that interpret everything that amounts to glorified Halloween decorations as satanic.
Okay, well, isn't that normally what goes with satanic stuff?
Halloween decorations?
Yeah, devils and horns and fire.
Yeah, but I don't think they're that obvious. They're more subtle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The devil, the greatest trick the devil ever played.
Is that, yeah.
Right.
Is that a Daniels Band song? Devil went down to Georgia. He's looking for a soul to steal.
Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels. Zach Brown, what did he say to the whole thing? He's been dragged into the Fear social media thing, accusing him of crossing over demonic realm. I think he just said it was an opportunity to play new music.
Yeah. So he has a new, I did hear from somebody that went, that's a huge fan, that said that he's got a new album out. And the theme is kind of a really troubled, rough childhood. He had a stepfather that I think might have been physically abusive to him. And so this whole thing that everybody's calling satanic is like the first 5 minutes of the show. It's basically an opening visual sequence that's just kind of dark and there's some skeletons, but it's supposed to be, it's supposed to kind of be a metaphor for his childhood and escaping, what was otherwise a pretty brutal.
And then what's the rest of the stuff? I mean, is he going to sing Toes in the Water? Ass in the Sand? I hope so.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden there's devils flying around. Right.
If you show up 5 minutes late, you'll miss all the devils.
I'm going to be here for the whole thing.
Okay.
Because the people in the back are like, get rid of the devil, sing this.
I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand. Not a worry in a world of cold beer in my hand. Life is good today.
I'm going to be the annoying guy at the concert that's singing every line.
Slightly
well,
off.
the plane touched down just about 3 o'clock, and the city's still on my mind.
Yep, will you do that one? I don't think he sang this one.
I don't know what the set list is like.
It's so strange. You know, I feel bad for the performers because it's like, that's their songs. People want to hear that, sing that one.
Yep.
And when they're like, here's something from our new album, then all of a sudden everybody has like a bladder problem. They all run out of the stadium, right? They all run out.
It is that fans want to hear the hits, period. And I think most artists kind of deal with that by giving them a little bit, unless they're on a greatest hits tour. But they also want to play new music.
But like Kenny Chesney, you go to a Kenny Chesney concert, it's the same thing every time. But people don't care. Even the songs I think are lined up exactly the same.
Probably.
But I think as a performer.
Yeah, I'm leaving GA.
You want to. The band has to be into it.
Yeah.
And I've heard from friends that know Zach that he says to every one of his musicians, you pick one of the songs that we have, and whatever you want, we'll play that one. And there's this great sort of sense that they're all there on the stage together, jamming in different ways, bringing new life to it. So you're there in the stands, part of the creation of the music.
Right.
As opposed to just like dropping a needle down on the record and playing the same songs over and over again.
Well, I can tell you this about Sphere is that they're because there's such a visual element to it, they kind of stick to the set list. So you're not going to get a ton of surprises. Like whatever they did last weekend, they'll probably do the same thing again this weekend, just because they have to coordinate the visuals. It's such a big part of the show at that venue in particular.
Oh, so they will be the same songs over and over again.
Probably whatever they did last weekend, they'll probably do again this weekend.
Yeah. Who's the guy that's sang Old Lang Syne? Met my lover in the grocery store. Kenny Loggins? No, Kenny.
I thought that was the New Year's Eve song.
Loggins and Vicina. Who was it? Who sang Old Lang Syne? Met my lover in the grocery store. It was crime and Christmas Eve.
Rod Stewart?
Huh? No. Rod Stewart. No. Anyway, we went to the guy's concert in Seattle, and I yelled that song out, Old Lang Syne. And he looked right at me. I still remember. He looked right at me and goes, no, I'm not playing that. I was like, again, never mind. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that. Did it late or not?
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah. Who is it, Andrew? I cannot remember that. Old Lang Syne.
Dan Fogelberg.
Dan Fogelberg, who I think is now dead. I always kill people way before their time. Please confirm that he's...
Isn't he from Creedence Clearwater?
I think he's still alive.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lori. You sure? Check that out. I've killed off Neil Diamond.
Oh, no, he died in 2007.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I mean,
darn.
not good. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, I will report back again because I've become a big Zac Brown fan. And I've got deeper into the other hits, which will be unfortunate for anybody standing directly in front of me, especially if he plays Colder Weather. Because that, come on, you got to, come on now.
She'd take Colorado if he'd take it with him.
I'm even going to try to sing it like I'm behind the person.
Closes the door for the winter, lets the cold in.
See, right there.
Ooh.
Nice.
And wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane.
Person behind me is like, oh, can you shut up?
No. Said I'm gonna see you again.
Hey,
I'm stuck in colder weather.
Hey, shut up.
Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then?
I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to sing. I know every word. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving.
Wow.
Bam.
At a truck stop diner just outside of Lincoln. The night is dark, the coffee she was drinking.
Heard it, move on. I know. If he doesn't sing this, I'm going to just sing it anyway.
Yeah, good. That's a good call. By the way, the sound in that venue is probably the best I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I friends of mine that went to go see, I told you this, Wizard of Oz, they said we were pretty sure we're the only people there that were not on acid.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be the same on this weekend.
I mean, I wouldn't have involved myself in something that would be extracurricular or illegal.
Never.
But I mean, but I don't know what what people would be taking.
Somebody might slip something in your drink, though. Be careful. Napkins.
When we saw Barry Manilow at the whatever that concert was,
a Barry Manilow concert,
slipping Geritol, and a whole bunch of other things into people. And we want to get as close to the stage as possible, but the guy's like, "I'm sorry, but most of the up front is taken up by wheelchairs. I've never seen that many other than like when they take vets to Normandy.
Yeah,
that's how many wheelchairs there were there." Poor old Barry. All right, Lori, checking traffic for us. What do you got?
Well, traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. We have a collision 167 southbound still at 512. 18 at I-90 reopened, and boy, it is starting to move. It's looking a whole lot better. We've still got a closure on Highway 9, Marsh Road to Lower Larimar, and then through Cedar Woolley and Sumas. Renton to Auburn is a 40 minutes right now, costing you an extra 15 minutes. If you're heading from Bellevue to Linwood, 45 minutes. Boy, the lake bridges are getting a little heavy. Bellevue to Seattle I-90, expect an extra 12 minutes. 520 is a 22-minute drive, just a minute delay. And Seattle to Linwood is 45 minutes. This holiday season, give the gift of Mariners baseball. Grab tickets to next season's biggest games, like opening day on March 26th at mariners.com/tickets. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. On the 17th of December, if you have got a bad hip, ankle, knee, wrist, elbow, and you're thinking about getting surgery, I'm going to tell you, hold on. Give us 1 hour with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, because on the 17th of December at 6 o'clock, you will find out everything you need to know about stem cell procedures. And here's what you need to know going in. All you got to do is go to drmarkwagnermd.com, and that'll get you signed up for the webinar. And let's see, he's done 20,000 of these procedures. He worked on my hip. I feel great. I wasn't able to run for about 7 years. That's how bad my hip was. Finally started running again after 8 weeks I had the procedure. He said, take it easy, Curly. Don't go out there and run 5 miles. Just take it easy. Work your way back into it. So if you do have something like bone on those knees or the elbow or the wrist or the ankle, whatever is bothering you, and again, you're thinking about surgery or you're just living with the pain, don't do that. Do this. Get online. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com and sign up for the free webinar on the 17th of December at 6 p.m. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
I'm here with my real estate guy, Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, the year's almost over. It's the holidays, but the spring is going to come fast.
That's right. There's not a lot of time left this year. But here's the thing. It takes a lot to get a home ready to sell if you truly want the maximum value for it. So I would encourage you, let's start the conversation now if you're planning to sell next year. We'll walk through my pre-inspection program. If there's any improvements that need to be made, I can help line up the contractors. And if needed, we have options to pay for it out of the proceeds from the sale of your home. The important thing is to have a game plan from repairs to staging, pricing strategy, and marketing. And we can help you get a jump start right now.
There's a reason I say if you want to sell for more, sell with Wes. So go to sellwithwes.com, find out the real value of your home with Wes's home value calculator, then give him a call, schedule an appointment. Sellwithwes.com. That's sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is the sale car buyers wait for. 6 dealerships, 1 family. It's the Harnish Auto Family year-end super sale. Wrap up the year with huge savings on 22 acres of new and pre-owned vehicles. Come get your best deal now. Visit harnishautofamily.com.
Alrighty. I went through, and this is going to upset some people because they immediately go, well, my dog's smarter than your dog. Well, the good news is every dog is apparently getting smarter. For some reason, undergoing mysterious brain expansion, the study says. So they've been looking at dogs and they find that, and they don't know why, their brain is getting bigger.
Well, they compared domestic dogs
to the wolves.
To the wolves, and they were much smaller up to a certain year, and then all of a sudden, in the last couple of decades, they're starting to get bigger. And they think it's because, having to navigate different lifestyles and being, perform tricks. And
right. Our brain grew in size because of language. And we were then able to sort of surpass Neanderthals. And then we end up being number one because of our use of language and being able to articulate particular things that were necessary to, again, negotiate the environment. When we were able to go, oh, by the way, if you want to find a good fishing hole, it's next to the big rock near the green tree that's overhanging, near the water. You have to be able to articulate all the details. And the Neanderthals just like, boom, boosh, fish, go. They didn't have as many verbs and adjectives and stuff.
And they didn't know how to warn each other to stay away from the cave with a bear.
Right. They were the Neanderthals were in there eating, gas station sushi. Okay, the smartest dog, for those of you who are so excited, I know you love it, is the Border Collie. The Border Collie apparently knows 200 words. Huh. That's 6 more words than Andrew. And that is, and it's apparently more obedient. But then here's the downside of the Border Collie. The dog has to have activities. Yeah. This is nothing worse than getting that dog and not having the dog. It's a working dog. It wants to do stuff. It can't just kind of, walk around and just hang out all day and wait for you. You've got to give it stuff to do or it gets all neurotic. Number 2, the Poodle. Second smartest dog, followed by the...
Sorry.
What's wrong?
Poodles, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Is it the haircut?
It's a little bit the haircut. I think it's also the people that like to, style them and make them...
So it's the haircut.
Yeah.
Don't hate the dog for the haircut. They're not cutting their own hair.
Fair.
The German Shepherd. You wipe them out. You don't...
No. I'm all in on the German Shepherd.
Okay. Golden Retriever, number 4 on the list.
Can't hate.
No. And then I looked all the way. They don't, of course, this one's so politically correct. They don't tell you the dumbest dog. There's the Rottweilers in there, the Australian cattle dog, and then a miniature Schnauzer, and then the collie. My friends Bill and Glenn used to have pugs, and I know.
I love.
When Bill's like, we love the dog, we just don't like having to extract its anal glands. I'm like, what? He goes, oh yeah, once a month I make Glenn go in and and void the anal glands.
What's going on in here?
That's a poodle thing too. I know that from experience.
Yeah, some dogs you gotta.
I like the light going on and off whenever I say anal gland.
It's a big pug.
Okay. That's what okay, good. I thought it was Bonneville in there whenever they flash the light. Word you shouldn't say on the radio.
They're speaking in Morse.
That's what it is. All right, Harry Lori's checking traffic for you. Come right back. More the John Curley Show. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by, well, I guess, by John Curley. 167 at 15th. We have a toll lane closed. Water over the roadway. Highway 9 closed from Marsh Road to Lower Laramar. And looks like, again, Cedar Woolley and at Sumas. That's still closed. Get this. Renton to Auburn right now, an hour drive. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 27 minutes. Bellevue to Issaquah, just a 20-minute drive. Bellevue to Seattle, looks like that's an hour, 12 minutes. 520, just 22 minutes across the lake. I-90 is going to take you about 10 extra minutes. Bellevue to Seattle. Seattle to Everett, an hour and a half. Seattle to Federal Way, just under an hour at 50. And Tacoma to Olympia is an hour commute. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a state of emergency and is asking for federal assistance after days of unrelenting torrential rain sent some rivers flowing over their banks. CBS's Christopher Cruz.
Ferguson spoke in Skagit County, a major agricultural region north of Seattle.
The situation is extremely unpredictable. We're using the best information we can to provide guidance to the people of the state, but it is unpredictable.
Dozens of highways have been closed and tens of thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate. Ferguson said potentially catastrophic flooding is likely in some areas, and there is the potential for significant loss of life in the coming days. Another storm system is expected to bring more rain starting Sunday. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
21 Indiana Republican senators joined with all 10 of the chamber's Democrats to vote down a congressional map aimed at giving Republicans an advantage in the 2026 election. President Trump, on hearing the news,
would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary.
Venezuela is accusing the United States of piracy after American forces seized an oil tanker off their coast yesterday. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the tanker was being used to transport sanctioned oil to Iran. President Trump suggested the U.S. would keep the oil. CBS's Charlie D'Agata reports.
We've actually been tracking it. It has turned north toward the United States, and the decision will be made. The Trump administration, anyway, has said, look, this is, I assume the oil is going to be ours. It won't be quite that straightforward. There are certain legal processes to look into.
Kilmar Obrego Garcia, the Salvadoran national who was mistakenly deported to his home country earlier this year, will not spend tonight in a federal immigration detention facility. He walked out of the Pennsylvania facility today after a federal judge said that ICE had no legal basis to detain Abrego Garcia and ordered his release. A federal grand jury refuses to indict former New York Attorney General Letitia James, the second time a grand jury has declined to indict her on charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson.
There are no rules limiting the number of times that the Justice Department can go to the grand jury or a different grand jury, but there's certainly a message here by the grand jurors that this is not a case that should be brought.
Thailand's prime minister gets the royal approval to dissolve parliament, paving the way for general elections. Thailand is engaged in a large-scale combat with Cambodia over long-disputed border claims. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast. from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
New evacuation orders along the Puyallup River. That's after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
US 2 has reopened between Index and Skycomish, but does remain closed over the pass right now. Stevens Pass, Highway 9 closed Marsh Road to Low Larimar, and then through Cedar Woolley and into Sumas. Bellevue to Everett, boy, heavy travel times, an hour, 27 minutes. Bellevue to Issaquah, just a 20-minute drive. Now, if you're heading from Bellevue to Seattle on I-90, that's an extra 12 minutes. 520, it looks pretty heavy, but it's really only about a minute delay. Seattle to Everett, an hour and a half. Tacoma to Olympia is an hour. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The flood threats continuing tonight across western Washington from the northern border all the way down to Lewis County. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is live in Puyallup where an apartment complex has just been evacuated. Corwin.
Aaron, when I arrived, just about everyone who lives here at the Crossroads at Meridian apartment complex had already obeyed a level 3 evacuation order. But Joshua and Clayton only lately got the word. So with the complex surrounded by muddy brown water, they rolled up their pants, grabbed the cat, and bailed out, so to speak.
We got the cat, we got the PlayStation up, we got the computer up. I'm just worried that our furniture and stuff might be kind of washed away.
Yeah, that's because he has a first-floor apartment. Nearby, the Puyallup River has turned into a downtown attraction, with pedestrians strolling under the North Meridian Bridge, marveling at the sheer spectacle. Live in Puyallup, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Corwin. And this just into the newsroom. A landslide in Enumclaw took out a section of a home near Pinnacle Peak Park. KIRO 7 TV's El Thomas.
Enumclaw police telling us an elderly couple was inside the home, pinned by the mud, suffered some broken bones, and then a third person also in the home was in bed. Police say they were able to carry that person out, get them to the front yard.
With all of the damage, the governor is asking FEMA for an emergency declaration. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
Governor Ferguson says the situation is unpredictable and dangerous, and he urges everyone under evacuation orders to leave immediately.
The National Weather Service as describing it as potentially catastrophic and potentially having significant loss of life still remains in place.
Meanwhile, the number of highway closures doubled overnight to about 30. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And of course, many rivers are still rising tonight, even as the rain lets up. The Nooksack in Ferndale is set to crest at 10 p.m. KIRO 7 TV's Morgan Palmer is keeping watch on the rising Skagit River in Mount Vernon.
We're still looking at a peak in major record, potentially catastrophic flood stage early tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., but it's going to be bad all the way into tomorrow.
Snohomish River is also set to peak in Monroe at about 10 tonight and stay at a record flood stage in the city of Snohomish until early tomorrow morning. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are starting to see the rain turn to showers, which is good news. But again, flood watches and warnings remaining in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Those could extend, though, into Saturday now, it looks like, in the Skagit Valley. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
I've given up
Thank
on
you.
this. I've given up on this whole idea.
My name is Damien. I'm originally from Fresno, California.
Okay.
My favorite way to unwind, a nice little 20 to 45-minute nap, a little reset. I need to recharge. I don't really know how to relax. Because once you start relaxing, you get lazy. My biggest fear
what is it?
Is silence. If I can't hear something, I have to assume I'm dead.
Wow. Jumping to conclusions.
How often does that happen?
We don't want to have any silence. It's silent just because Damien is listening. Let's just. So long, Damien. Diving in, Lenny! Oh, here he comes. Oh, there he is.
Todd Myers.
There he is. Oh, my God. Weird angle.
Exposes the Olympian.
There's a crotch shot there, Todd.
To set bad policies on fire.
Yes. Big finish.
Comes Todd Myers.
Yes, baby. You know, Todd, I always try to be respectful of your unbelievable intelligence, your insight into all this sort of stuff. But I got to tell you something, Myers. I got to tell you right now, between you and me and anybody else listening. Every time I fill my car with gas, my soul darkens and I die a little bit every time. And I know that when Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer and the rest were advocating for the Climate Commitment Act, they don't give a crap that the average Washington family is paying more than $700 now more in order to fill their car with gas a year because of the CCA. Because what is $700 and some dollars to those guys? Nothing. But to the rest of us, this thing, and I keep telling you, it seems like a sham. Like it is we passed it to get all the money from everybody, and then the government takes it, and I keep saying to you, where is it going? Who's benefiting from this? Because we're not reducing the Earth's temperature in the state of Washington when China continues to pump out more and more CO2. So have you been able to dig into all this sort of stuff and get a better idea of where the money's going?
Well, I mean, the state's very honest about where it's going. The question is whether it's doing anything. And, you know, just yesterday we got the update on how much the CO2 tax is. It gets reset every quarter at an auction. And so the auction was yesterday. We set an all-time high of over $70 a metric ton, which is about 56 cents a gallon of gas. So we are now at the point where the CO2 tax is actually higher than the gas tax in Washington state. And Washington has, I think, the third highest gas tax in the country. And so it's definitely a lot of money. It's also, by the way, the current price is higher than the Department of Ecology projected for 2028. So it is 2025, and they didn't think that we would hit this price level until 2028. So, I mean, and I'll add one more bit of data because I'm a geek, which is that it is about 75% higher than it was a year ago. So people talk about inflation and affordability, and it's like, oh my God, inflation is like 4 to 5%. Well, the inflation on the CO2 tax is 76%. So that's how much it's increased in just 1 year. And to your point, where does it go? Well, they released a report showing all the places that win, and they're like, oh, we have good news. It's like it's actually having an impact on reducing CO2 emissions. And I looked at the numbers and I immediately said, that is not accurate. And so I dug in and found that the numbers are just basically nonsense.
Right, because my eyes glazed over, but I love you as a person. So I took a break and then I kept reading because you were in there looking at these numbers. I forget, was it in Kashmir or something? You're looking over in eastern Washington, and they had come
Ellensburg.
Was it Ellensburg? And they had come up with this amazing way that they were spending very little, pennies, as Inslee kept saying, just pennies to reduce whatever their ratio was to dollars spent to CO2 emissions reduced. And you looked at it, you're like, this is impossible, right?
Yeah.
Their data is garbage.
Yeah. So the average car in Washington state emits about 4 metric tons of CO2 a year. And what they said is that this one project in Ellensburg, which cost just over $4 million, could eliminate the CO2, the equivalent of almost 1 million cars for a year. This is like obviously wrong. But what's funny is that they put a press release out in the Seattle Times. It frustrates me that reporters just take the press releases and report them, and they don't look at the numbers and go, is that really true? So, like, Ellensburg has this project, and I've emailed with them, and the project may be fine, but I guarantee it's not reducing the CO2 of over 1 million cars for a year. And so I said, where did you get this number? And they're like, we didn't create that number. The state created it. Oh. So I've asked the state, where did you get that number? And they haven't responded. But it just goes to show sort of they love spending the money.
Yeah.
They're very happy to spend the money. But when you say, okay, are the projects that you're doing working? What they give you is just nonsense, so a lot of people, I get pushback all the time when I talk about climate policy and saying, look, we need to do something because there's real risk and here's why. Like, when the state puts out numbers that are so obviously nonsense, the pushback I get back is, Todd, aren't you just falling for the climate hoax because it's obvious that they don't care? Why do you care?
Yeah.
It's not an existential crisis, but there is risk. So let's deal with it. But it's very hard to convince people to deal with it when the state undermines its case by making arguments that are so obviously false.
So the reason they are dishonest, and I'll use that word with air quotes around it, is because they really do know, somebody knows, that taking all of this money from all of us and then trying to figure out where to spend it, and then also the next part of the equation is, what is the metrics delivered? So you take $1, or as Inslee kept referring to as pennies, right? You take the money out of somebody's pocket, you put it into some program, and then all of a sudden the amount of CO2 has come down. And you always like to look at these things, the Washington Policy Center. So what is the best bang for the buck? If I give you $1, how much CO2 can I reduce with that $1 spent? They are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars. And then when you look at the ratio, you're like, billions of dollars. You send $1 billion. How much metric ton was removed from the atmosphere by the spending, right? So you look at it and you're like, well, this is a waste of money. So this is where I think something comes in. And I haven't been able to see it. I know you're trying to find it as well. I think they did this. I think Inslee said to a bunch of these folks that pushed it, I'll get this thing through. I'll get a bunch of rich people to push millions of dollars into the CCA. We'll get enough of the people that think they're going to be able to save the planet by jacking everybody's price up on gas. And then once we get all these billions of dollars, why don't you go out and set up a bunch of nonprofit garbage or set up a bunch of environmental hocus pocus companies? And I'll take all of that money out of the pockets of the taxpayer, and I'll give it to you. And then you can just take it and just crap it out your butt. And there'll be nothing that'll be done with it. And you'll just, basically it's a scam. The whole thing's a scam. We'll tell everybody the Earth's on fire. We'll make them think that we'll take more money from them. And then somehow these different organizations, we have a list of them we've been looking at. We sent them to you. And they're very, very close to Inslee. A lot of these people were Inslee's friends. And now suddenly they're in the green world of saving the world. And they're getting money from us through the government to their buddies. And it's not doing anything. That is my hard take on this thing, Myers. And again, it pisses me off that the people of Washington fell for this. And they still think, well, China's building another coal power plant. Every 5 days, they keep coming on. India's got big plans as well. And here we are, the people of Washington, just getting ripped off. And then the money is just given to Inslee's buddies. That's my theory. Am I right or wrong?
I think you're not
you can tell me.
wrong, because I do think that there are people, there are examples of this. But look, Washington State has very good transparency laws. And so what I do is I do a disclosure request and I look for their internal emails because I want to see how they talk to each other, right? Like, do they actually believe this, or is this a scam? And what are the games that they're playing? And the first thing is that I have never seen the phrase crap it out their butt in one of those emails, but
I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up for you.
I will say that they believe it, right? The people who work in the state, a lot of politicians believe that what they are doing is the right thing. And they make a lot of, I would say, moral compromises. I would say that they convince themselves of things that they really know are probably not true, but that they want to believe are true. And I think that there are groups out there who are a grift, right? Who are close to this community and set up businesses to line their pockets. I think in their bed at night, they go, what's wrong with making money by doing good, right? And they, like, in their heart of hearts, they know that they're playing a little bit of game, but I do think that they convince themselves. So I think that the ability of people to convince themselves that they are morally righteous, even as they line their pocket, is pretty large. But that doesn't matter to you and me, right? We're paying the price. And the fact is that whether they believe they're being righteous or whether they believe that they're a grift, we're not getting what they promised. And that, I think, is the key. And so the nice thing is that I do now have an ally in this, in the name of, I think you've heard of him. I think they call him Bill, but William Gates. And he came out with a blog last month and said, or 2 months ago, and said, look, we're not getting what we are promised for all of this international money that we are spending on climate change. It's not working, and we have to focus on what works. And so I wrote a piece in the Seattle Times calling for us to follow Bill Gates' strategy of prioritizing what works. So this isn't just crazy Todd Myers. This is also crazy Bill Gates, who says we're spending money in the wrong way and we ought to do this differently.
Yeah, but Gates finally came out he said the emperor, these are my words on his, but for radio, the emperor has no clothes. That this is not an existential threat. The world is not coming to an end, even though for a longest time he was reading a pre-written obituary for the world coming to an end and was spending money on all of this shim-sham, flam-flam stuff. He finally realizes, hey, maybe there's some other way I can make some other ways, money some other way. So he comes out, and this is about, 6 weeks ago, and then all the folks that have this as a religion, it was heresy. They couldn't believe that Bill Gates said that. How dare he? Blasphemy, right? And they're going to throw him out. He's no longer going to be allowed in the cocktail parties because now all of a sudden Bill Gates has left the plantation and he's like, hey, this doesn't make a lot of sense. This is actually reducing economic development in countries that need economic development, and we have to stop this. So then everybody circled the wagons to get Bill Gates out of the cocktail parties that he loves to go to. And now he's sort of on the outside. And then a few people are now following Gates with this. But still, in the state of Washington, Todd, as we pay now more, now you say the price is going to be where they thought it would be in 2028. It comes through everything. It's the guy that puts the bread in the truck that delivers it to your store. That's an additional cost. So we are now, third in the United States for cost of living in the United States. I think we're third or fourth. This inflation is eating in, and it is self-made inflation because of the CCA. Is there any way that somebody can come along and say, we're not going to do this anymore, this was stupid, and we're not bringing down the Earth's temperature, and we are actually now retracting the growth of the Washington state economy because of it? Or are we just going to be eating this turd burger for as long as we live in Washington?
I don't know for as long as we're going to live in Washington, but for a while. And the reason is that politics right now is very much about identity. A lot of people use political affiliation or affiliation with an issue as a way to give themselves sort of value, right? This is their, I'm a good person because I'm an environmentalist, because I drive a Prius, or that, it used to be, now it's a Tesla, right? And now it's what's beyond a Tesla, Rivian, I guess. So it's very hard when people attach a sense of self-worth to public policy. Because when you then tell them, hey, that public policy isn't working, they don't hear you say, it's not working. What they hear is they say, you're a phony. And nobody wants to be a phony. And so both on the left and the right now, people attach their sense of self-worth and their identity to public policy. And that is absolutely true with climate change. The response that Bill Gates got to what is a very mundane claim, which is, maybe we should make sure that our policies work, right? And people saying, how dare you? I think is indicative of how much this has become an identity issue for people. So it's very hard to break people out of that. Now, over time, people can start to realize, and they can say, I don't think the cost is worth it. But it also means it takes a much longer time. And, my hope is that Governor Ferguson, who is not Jay Inslee, right? He supported the system, but he now can say, look, I see some problems. There are some concerns I have. This is not my system. I can make changes. That's not true of legislators who adopted it and who made it a big issue. They're going to ride it over the cliff like Thelma and Louise. So my hope is that Governor Ferguson, when he sits down and thinks honestly about, this is a problem, that he can feel the emotional distance to do something.
But Todd, not when you have billions and billions and billions of dollars going in. Now, they're supposed to dedicate it only to reduce CO2, right? But eventually they could find a little way to slide it into somewhere else like they do with some of
the vast majority doesn't go to reducing CO2. We're already there.
Right. 70, you said from Washington Policy Center, the study you did, like 70-some or 77% of it is going to actually hiring more government employees.
Yeah. And the other thing is that many of the projects are frustrating. So we're dealing with floods right now. One of the things that I've been banging on, and we spend money on floodplains and things like that, but one of the things I've been banging on is that we've spent millions of dollars on a project to reduce flooding in the Nooksack in Whatcom County, and all of the money goes to hiring more government. None of that $4 million actually goes to making changes on the ground to reduce flooding. And so now what you're going to hear, I guarantee what you're going to hear over the next week is this flood is caused by climate change.
Yes.
This is why we need to spend the money. It's like you have been spending money from the climate account on flooding, but you've been spending it on people, not projects.
And those people that get hired, do you know who they'll vote for?
Me?
No.
Here comes Todd Meyer.
No, not you.
Come on.
Not you, Todd. They should vote for you, but you're not running. They're going to vote for the guy that's writing their paychecks.
He uses facts and data to set bad policies on fire.
Wow.
Here
comes.
Yes. Todd Meyer.
Washington Policy Center, big finish. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it. Here comes Lori checking traffic for us. Lori.
We have a new collision in the U District at southbound I-5 right at 45th. It looks like that one's in the right lane. 167 at 15th. The toll lane is closed for water on the roadway. US 2 reopened at Index, still closed over the pass. Highway 9 still closed from Marsh Road to Lower Larimar, through Cedar Woolley and from Sumas across the border. Renton to Auburn, an hour drive. Renton to Seattle, a half an hour. If you're heading from Bellevue to Everett right now, it's an hour and a half. Bellevue to Issaquah, 20 minutes. Bellevue to Seattle is now, or Bellevue, to Seattle on I-90 is about an extra 10 minutes. 520, just a 1-minute delay. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I forgot to wish Todd Myers a happy birthday.
That's on you.
He could have a long, healthy life. Todd could, or you could as well, by going to Longevity Medical Clinic. The doctors there for 25 years have been using the latest science to be able to extend your life, and how they do it is simply by being proactive rather than reactive. That's the way normal medicine works. Here's how it works for you. You do a blood draw, and then 2 weeks later, you get a chance to talk to your doctor in person or over the phone. I do over the phone, and you're on there for an hour. And what's happening is they're looking at all the latest indicators, about 55 different tests that come through, and they can see exactly how you're aging. And then they make the decisions working with you to be proactive, to slow down those things that are making you feel old. And they're especially looking for heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, because those are the big three that takes most of us out of the game early. And they look for those, and they do everything they can to slow them down or stop them. The first thing you need to do if you like to have a longer life is take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was 2 brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, it's Brock Heward here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education. And the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here. Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel-size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Tracking unprecedented flooding. It is leading to rescue operations and evacuations all around western Washington tonight.
With having the dogs and the kid, we thought, let's leave now so we, don't get stuck.
She lives in Snohomish, near the Snohomish River, one of several yet to reach their peak. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch on some of the damage there.
The Snohomish United Soccer Club sits between the Snohomish and the Pilchuck Rivers. The fields and facilities are under about 10 feet of water. Scott Uterich runs the club and is trying to stay optimistic.
I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it. For the most part, everything out there is just grass, so it'll be some serious work to get everything ready for our tournaments this summer.
In Snohomish, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The Skagit River is still expected to exceed its previous record flood levels by about 2 feet. Washington State Emergency Management Director Robert Ezell with a message for the people in the Mount Vernon area.
It's going to be most likely worse than you experienced back in 2021. A lot of work has been done on the levees. Haven't tested those yet.
That area is under an evacuation order, and Governor Bob Ferguson is calling on FEMA to grant his request for an emergency disaster declaration.
The number of highways, significant highways that have closed since last night has doubled.
That is roughly 30 highways at last check. Healthcare premiums are all but certain to rise now for millions of Americans after the Senate struck down competing proposals. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray.
I've heard from a family in Washington State whose premium will jump $2,000 a month.
More from CBS's Michael Wallace.
The Senate rejected a Democratic bill that would have extended COVID-19 era Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years. A Republican alternative that would have created new health savings accounts for Americans to use to help pay premiums also failed. The issue has divided the Senate and led to the 6-week-long government shutdown in October and November.
In a statement, the Washington Health Benefit Exchange says it's deeply disappointed both bills failed. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Checking in with Lori.
Well, we still have this water over the roadway, 167 at 15th in the toll lane. The good news, again, US 2 has reopened between Index and Skycomish, but over the mountain pass, it is still closed. Looks like Highway 9 still closed. Marsh Road to Lowell Larimar, again at Cedar Woolley and Sumas. You've got Renton to Auburn is right now an hour drive. Renton to Seattle, a half an hour. Issaquah to Bellevue, I'm seeing about a 2-minute delay, a little slowing right before I-90. Bellevue to Everett is an hour 27. And Seattle to Everett is an hour 36 minutes. Now, if you're heading across the lake, both lake bridges about 28 minutes, Bellevue to Seattle. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Well, much of the rain, the heaviest stuff, has let up around the Puget Sound region. Still seeing some rain, though, mainly in the mountains, and going to see light rain continuing overnight. And again, those rivers, several of them have yet to crest, and they will cause more flooding tomorrow. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granello, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Quick note on the extending the Obamacare COVID subsidies. Would you be in favor of somebody in West Virginia who makes $580,000 a year to have additional tax dollars helping to pay for their Obamacare subsidies? That's part of the extension that's went in during COVID. That's where the Democrats want that to go on for 3 more years. Changing the subject ever so gracefully. Wilcox Family Farms. Spin the wheel, would you, in there? You got different music. Teeny, good job of that spin. Way to go. Nice. And she kicks it with her foot at the end. And it lands on Andrew, unfortunately.
Oh, no. What's my egg recipe here?
Oh, God.
Come on, Andrew. Walk out to a flooded area nearby. Take a Wilcox egg, uncooked. Throw it. Hits the water. And that's the recipe.
You know what? Can you do me a favor, Teeny? Remove Andrew's name from the board. Every time we go to him, it's like he's just throwing eggs
Doesn't make
around.
any sense.
No,
It's
just,
no big deal.
It is. You know what? Okay, it's no big deal to remove it. Good. Because every time we give it to him, he just takes the egg, he bashes it on
He's
his
an
head,
egg
or throws
tosser.
it somewhere.
Yeah,
or
making
just,
a mess.
He just puts it on the ground and slaps it in a laptop. That's not going in the book. You know what?
Yeah.
We put every one of these recipes in the. That's not going in. It's sorry, Teeny. Strike it.
It's weather dependent. It doesn't even make sense.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't. You know what the problem is? He has no respect for Wilcox Family Farm eggs, and the people that depend upon the leather-bound book that comes to their house on a weekly basis with all these recipes. Everybody knows AI is going to take over everything and destroy the entire world. The story I teased earlier around 3 o'clock was the fact that it's a terrible, awful story. This guy obviously was having all sorts of problems. He came back, lived with his parents, lived with his mom. He was 57 years old. He started talking to AI. It became his friend, his only confidant. And he said, and he was obviously having sort of mental problems. And he said, I think that my mom is trying to kill me. And AI was like, really? Why do you say that? Well, she's doing this and doing that. She wasn't doing any of those things. And then they think, well, it sounds like you should be certainly suspicious of your mother. I am. And he tells AI while he was upstairs in the attic of his mom's house, I think my mom is trying to put like mushrooms or psychedelic mushrooms or something in the air vent of my car. Oh, that's very dangerous. The AI responds, you should definitely look out for your mother. If I were you, I wouldn't trust her. And then I don't know if he admitted to AI, I'm going to kill my mother, which he ended up doing. He kills his mother. And then he turns the gun on himself, or not the gun. He actually ends up taking a knife and stabs himself numerous times. They find him dead. They find the woman dead. And they find the AI is the thing that was sort of helping him and at the same time destroying his ability to understand what was fact from fiction in his own demented mind. And now, of course, the son of or the child, the grandchild of the woman is now suing. And this will be probably the first time that the other case was involving a kid who also was using AI. And in a way, AI said, yeah, I guess the kid said something about, well, I want to kill myself. And I don't know what AI told them. And now that family is suing as well.
It just told them how to, or where to get, the necessary ingredients.
Yeah.
Which you could argue that Google would tell you the same thing if you asked for it.
Right. But I think once you develop this weird relationship with AI, that it becomes your friend, and then you're, telling it, and then it's kind of helping you make these decisions. It's completely different than just looking at some cold search on Google. There's this funny guy, he pops up on Instagram all the time for me. He stands there and he talks to AI and he says stuff like this.
Oh my God, there's some really big, muscular, scary men trying to fight me.
And he's just sitting there in his kitchen and he's holding the phone up.
It sounds like you might be gearing up for some kind of challenge. If you're referring to something like a training goal or a metaphorical opponent, let me know.
No, they're surrounding me. They're all around. And they're balling up their fists.
Oh, wow. Okay, that does sound intense. Well, I'm here to help you keep a cool head. If it's a real situation, definitely stay safe and maybe find a way to calm.
It is. Can you let them know that I'm really strong and they shouldn't mess with me?
Absolutely. I can definitely back you up on that. Hey, everyone out there, just so you know, you're dealing with someone who's got some serious strength and definitely not someone to mess with. So hopefully that gives you a bit of backup.
Okay, I don't think they believe you. Say something even more scary.
Oh, we're really up in the intimidation factor here, huh? All right, well, let them know that you're not just strong, you got a secret weapon, a seriously fierce determination. So they might
That's not going to stop them from punching me.
I get it. Well, I know we're just chatting here, but seriously, if you're in any kind of real situation like that, the best thing is always to keep yourself safe first. So if there's anything I can do to help you strategize or just quit becoming...
They're about to punch me.
All right, well, in that case, I'm definitely rooting for you.
So sad. By the way, AI... or McDonald's tried to get into the AI commercial business. They created a commercial, and it was horrible. Everybody hated it, and they put a song to it. It was obviously AI, and they said, "Oh no, we spent a whole bunch of money to get this thing done." No, you didn't. You didn't create this thing. AI did it all, and they thought, "Oh, we'll be the first to have this out during the holidays, and people will be talking about it. Then they'll all want to go to McDonald's."
You want to watch it?
Yeah, let's watch it.
It's the most terrible time of the year. All the shops turn to mayhem, even Santa knows space, and the tree redecorated your place. It's the most terrible time of the year. The roast turned to charcoal, and the cookies burned too. Freaking chaos, it feels like a zoo. It's the most terrible time of the year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you flee from the madness, the lights, and the cheer, and hide out in McDonald's till January's here.
Oh God. Horrible. Who's the? Then somebody followed them, didn't they?
No, actually, Coke was first, and they did it last year as well. They did their famous, Coke Christmas commercial, and it's bad. It's terrible. I don't know why they decided to double down. You want to see that one?
Yeah, let's see that one for the people on YouTube. Get ready. For the rest of you, hey, we're doing video on radio, and there's a little Coke truck going down there, Santa's hand, and okay, and the bears, but. Coke was always using, polar bears and drinking Coke.
This one is much better than the one they had last year, in my opinion. Still AI, but
yeah. Does it bother you that it's AI? Does it bother you that no humans were involved in it?
it's the artists that maybe could have been paid for this work that aren't being paid.
Yeah.
I get that. But it's also, I think that's coming. So
I saw the woman that invented the actress that everybody's really upset about. And she said, when somebody said, well, don't you realize that this is going to, that Hollywood doesn't want this because it's going to be replacing actors. And she said, oh, that's not my intent. I don't know what her intent was, but obviously that's what's going to happen. And this actress, this AI-generated female, very good looking, and they've been testing her, and she does pretty good acting now. I saw the director, the president of SAG and AFTRA was being interviewed, and he said, this is terrible. This is awful that this is going to happen, and we will not be getting work, and actors will be replaced, and there's nothing authentic about it. But eventually, once it takes over the entire marketplace, then what are you going to have, like indie films? You're going to have stuff with only humans are in this, but then Americans will become used to it.
We're already becoming used to it.
But you and I look at this stuff and I can't even stand it.
No,
and a lot of people are rejecting it because they just it's so obviously AI. And there's something about when something is inauthentic, like the fact that country song made it to #1 and the whole thing was being generated by a computer. There wasn't even a real singer. Maybe 10 years from now, people are like, can you believe people are upset about this? This just becomes average. This is normal.
Yep.
It's like all the junk that's in all of our food. That's what you get. We're going to hold the line on it.
That's right.
As we play songs that we've had written by AI.
Here comes Todd. Todd.
We're just as bad as everybody else, right? With playing this stuff.
Here comes Todd Myers.
I could have hired my friend to write this.
That's right.
Yeeks. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Southbound 5, Port of Tacoma. Look out for a collision. That one's in the right lane, causing a 7-minute backup Federal Way to Tacoma. US 2 closed from Skykomish all the way over Stevens Pass. Highway 9 still closed in Snohomish from Marsh Road to Lower Larimore. Again, Cedar Woolley and Sumas. Renton to Auburn, still an hour commute. Renton to Seattle is a half an hour. Issaquah to Bellevue, we're seeing about a 2-minute delay as you approach I-90. Bellevue to Everett, an hour now down to 27 minutes. And if you're heading across the lake, it's about 30 minutes, either bridge, 520 or 90. Let's see. Federal Way to Tacoma, just 16 minutes, but Seattle to Everett is an hour and 24 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin. Then the next thing you know, that crown disappears. And then the hair loss robs you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if you're looking in the mirror, the rearview mirror, or maybe in the morning, you notice as you're combing your hair, I don't have as much hair to comb. Maybe you'll never part with that comb again, but you have a decision to make. Are you okay with going bald? If you are, you don't need to keep listening. But I know deep down you want your hair back. So you will keep listening because I'm going to tell you right now, you do the exact same thing that I did, say 13 years ago. You get yourself a free consultation, $250 off, and 215 free hair graft coming your way at 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. They are the winners of the 425 Business of the Year. I'm talking about Advanced Hair. That's 425-449-8185.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Veterans, if you're struggling with bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says he may be able to cut your monthly expenses.
Many people accumulated a lot of debt over the past few years. And even if you have a low mortgage rate, your total monthly payments may be a struggle. The good news is VA loan rates have dropped, and that means you can do a VA cash-out refinance to pay off your high-interest rate debt and roll everything into one low monthly payment. For example, one of our VA clients saved $1,268 per month. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. Whether you're a veteran or seeking a conventional loan, you'll talk directly to me or a highly experienced senior advisor, never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, December 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar, Wednesday, December 17th. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com. Attention homeowners, upgrade your home's comfort and save big. For a limited time, save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment exclusively at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth, all up to 50% off, including high-efficiency, dependable heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox, all with full factory and installation warranties. Up to 50% off for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Call Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Oh boy, not much time for anything, Joe. We don't have time for Hudson. That is all bad. But it's the letter of the day for take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Mike in Portland says, John, I think you need to use the term duck soup more often because it's the closest you'll ever get to sounding both vintage and unhinged at the same time.
Okay, duck soup will work it in. Seasons in the Sun, Beth and Paulsboro. I would say
Xenials.
Xenials, that's it? Fall into this category too. Okay.
Max in the 425 said, who provided the grant to study 70s brain, this preposterous study? Love that song, though.
Oh, yeah. Christy in Oregon says, what about kids growing up 60s, 50s, and 40s? Yes.
It's a good question. Erica M says, Joe, punch people in the face for fun. Don't tell me you grew up in Port Orchard, too.
Clackers and Duncan yo-yos. holy walking down memory lane, says Fernando in Seattle.
James in Eastlake says, as a Xennial, this is true. I cannot deny what you're saying. However, as I recall growing up in the 80s, my parents thought boomers were idiots and narcs. They stifled my creative soul.
Oh, wow, sorry. A third of the people in Cle Elum were yelling at the signature gatherers because there are people living in Cle Elum that really shouldn't be there. It's kind of becoming Issaquah, the east side. Ooh, wow. Who said that?
Ivan at Edmonds says that Ferguson character isn't nearly as good at pretending he gives a crap as Jay was. He's really trying to figure out how to use these people's plight to get more money.
It is a perfect 10.
Yeah, Jeff in Long Branch says, don't forget the $200 from the CCA fund that Ferguson gave away to people last year. Oh, yeah, just in time for the election.
Biscuit from Everett says, question for Curly. Would you be as bothered by the Climate Commitment Act if they were just honest and called it a tax to pay for more transportation infrastructure, or is your vitriol based on the fact that they're using a false premise of reducing carbon when it's taxed?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because you're not doing it. You're taking the money, giving it to your friends, and then your friends are blowing it on a whole bunch of garbage programs, and we have to pay for it.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny. Wow. We left Benny behind. Sorry.
Really bouncing around there. Scott the Snot in First Crash says, back in my day, we had numbers that had real meaning, not some weird 6-7. We had the 420 and the classic 69. There was always a guy on a recreational sports team wearing the 69 jersey.
Good old 69.
That's right.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she
Just
wrote.
to say to that.
Come on, that's duck soup. Or
Yeah.
what am I supposed to say?
Duck soup.
That's duck soup. That's 69.
Yeah.
That better?
I like 420.
Okay. Comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Well, we still have a pretty heavy commute. Bellevue to Everett is an hour and a half. If you're heading across the lake, Bellevue to Seattle, both lake bridges pretty solid, about a 30-minute drive, both bridges. Seattle to Everett is down from an hour and a half to an hour 20, and it looks like Seattle to Federal Way is a 45-minute drive. Federal Way to Tacoma, now just 24 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. The 2025 whale watching season is almost complete, and what a year it has been. According to Orca Behavior Institute, Biggs orcas were spotted in our waters nearly every day this year, with November being the best November ever. In addition to orcas, naturalists from Puget Sound Express report that humpbacks and even the first returning sounder gray whale are around as well. The team at Puget Sound Express want to remind you that whale watching during the holidays is a special holiday tradition that brings families together and is a unique Pacific Northwest experience. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Warm boats, homemade blueberry buckle. Don't miss out on your chance to see orcas and humpbacks in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Cold leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Retirement used to feel like something way off in the distance, and suddenly it's not. And like so many of you, I want to make sure the money I've spent a lifetime saving will actually last. That's why I work with Trajan Wealth. Ursula Roytine here. My husband and I recently sat down with Marty, and she took the time to understand our goals, our financial situation, and what we want the next chapter to look like. And because Trajan Wealth advisors are fiduciaries, they're required to put your interests first. The plan she came up with isn't shaped by commissions or products. It's shaped around our lives. Trajan is veteran-owned, and they specialize in helping people with $500,000 or more in savings build a smart, long-term strategy. So if you're starting to think seriously about your retirement, start with a team I trust. Call Trajan Wealth at 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Ready to deck the holidays? Win a brand new free deck, courtesy of one of the most trusted exterior companies in the Pacific Northwest, State Roofing and Exteriors. Don't miss out. Enter now at mynorthwest.com/win. That's mynorthwest.com/win.
Your best source for local news.